All right, that's right. Episode 2 of a few guys talking about other guys doing some stuff. Welcome in.
We got to work on that name.
No, the name is set in stone, bro.
I was not on the conference call.
There's like a 0% chance that the name gets changed.
I was not involved in that conference call.
What?
I wasn't involved in that conference call.
Nobody was. That came right out of my brain. I wanted the dumbest fucking name possible, and I came up with a few guys talking about other guys doing some stuff. That's what I came up with.
It almost sounds like you're like, yeah, we're just some guys talking about other guys doing some stuff.
Why does it always got to be like erotic?
I don't know, Jay. You're just so erotic. Every time I'm on camera with you, that's all I think about.
I mean, I don't appreciate it.
You're a sexy guy. What can I say?
Glad to have you back, Ant. That's gonna make killing time a lot easier. This show's gonna be a breeze with Ant on the show.
Oh my god! So you want to hear something funny, Jason? Right?
Of course we do.
I guess.
All right. So, Jason, how long ago? Tell me this. How long ago did you and I start doing the Sports Cake live betting streams on the Sports Cake channel? When did we start doing those?
January 27th, 2019.
14 months?
Yeah.
So how long have my dogs barking been an issue? How long since we've been doing the show has my dogs barking been an issue and a distraction?
Since like episode 2.
Okay, so for 14 months, I've been asking my husband. I said, "Hey, honey, the dogs are barking while I'm trying to do this live stream with my buddies. We're trying to do, our YouTube live stream and show people how to live bet sports. Can you please find a way to get those dogs to shut the fuck up because it's a distraction?" And you know what he's told me for 14 months, Jason? Greg, do you guys know what he's told me for 14 months?
Eat a dick.
He's been telling me that for 10 years, but that's a different context. But basically, his response is they're dogs and dogs will be dogs. So, due to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with in this world, he is now having to work from home. Friday afternoon, he had to get everything set up. So he went to work as normal Friday morning. They gave him the computer, the headset, everything to set up for work from home, and sent him home. And he basically, he had a couple hours to get everything set up, and called them back so they could do the testing, make sure he's set up. So from about 3:00 Friday afternoon to 5:00 Friday afternoon, he was 100% set up to work from home, take calls, and do all that stuff from home. 2 hours working from home on the phones. You know what I saw on my bank statement today? That there was a purchase made on Amazon.
What was it?
Last night, there was a purchase made on Amazon. I checked my email to see, because the Amazon always sends me emails when a purchase is made.
Yeah.
$103.90. 2 hours having to take phone calls. He bought 2 shock collars for the dogs.
I've been asking you to buy a shock collar for a year, bro.
I mentioned, hey, can we get the shock collars? And he told me we're not abusing our dogs that way. He's on the phone for 2 fucking hours, and he already just, whoop. Oh, hey, Nate, what's this? We're buying shock collars for the dogs now? He's like,
yeah, what about my fucking needs, Nate? Jesus Christ.
I know, right? 2 hours. 2 fucking hours working from home. He's buying shock collars. 14 months. 14 months telling this fucking guy, hey, can we shut those dogs up? Dogs will be dogs. Go fuck yourself.
This fucking guy. Well, that's good. I mean, I got to be honest. Like, the outcome was really good for us.
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do?
right?
It's it's I don't know what are you gonna do. Do we have anybody even watching us yet? Oh,
We
sorry.
got Boston Nick. We got Right Cape. Gerardo.
Yeah, there'll be
Hernandez are all with us.
people floating in and out.
So, what's been going on in your world, Jason? Because I know having to self quarantine and stay in the house and not go out and see anybody has been a real shock and upheaval in your life. How have you been?
But believe it or not, Ant, I've been going out more than normal. Hold on, Gerardo, you hit the pick 4 with the horses that I gave you in races 7, 8, and 9. Are you telling me that 2 in the first race fucked me out of hitting another one? What did it pay? Tell me what it paid. Actually, Ann, I've been going out of the house more than normal because my sister doesn't want my mom or dad to leave the house. So that's basically left me having to get the groceries that they want with my sister. We're splitting time. So I've left my house more since the coronavirus has
Does New Jersey still not have grocery delivery?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I'm not sure why they're not getting them delivered. I don't know why.
Like Walmart doesn't deliver, but you can get up where you just they'll put it in your car for you, so they don't have to go in the store.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. You know me, bro.
I mean, I've never known you to leave your house, so I'm actually kind of shocked by this. No, I don't know. My job is, that meme that you see out there where they're like, everybody else's job is like, y'all need to stay home and work from home. Wow, my job is the one that's like, some of you may die, but that's a risk we're willing to take. So that's my job right now. So, yeah. UPS drivers got it easy right now. They're just dropping and going with all their shit.
Yeah, so you're coming in contact with like everybody, huh?
No.
No,
I'm calling all of them ahead of time. I'm like, I got some shit for you. You got some shit for me. Leave that shit out the door. I don't want to see you.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's how that's working. That's how that's working. I'm like, and if I have to come inside, I better not see anybody. None of y'all motherfuckers better come within 6 feet. Social distancing.
Do you think that you're going to get called?
What?
Like they just shut it down?
Maybe.
That would blow.
Yeah, probably will. I mean, I got like 2 weeks worth of sick time, so that'll probably be for a couple weeks. But after that, we'll have to get some of that socialism to kick in, and those Obama, or not Obama, I almost said Obama, those Trump stimulus checks we'll get passed and money from that.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that when they were talking about sending out those stimulus checks? It was really funny because everyone on my Facebook feed who's a Republican was posting memes saying, all you libtards out there be talking shit about Trump better not cash that $1,000 check they're talking about sending you because you said he's not your president. So fuck you. Don't cash that check. While all the liberals on my news feed are going, all you Trumpists out there and all you Republicans out there better not cash that $1,000 check that they're talking about sending out there because that's socialism. And y'all said you don't like socialism. So how about that? And I'm just kind of sitting here going, are we really in a partisan ideological divide? I mean, just send me the fucking money. I got a mortgage. Not my president, socialism. I don't give a fuck. Send me the money. I got a mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. What's going on out there, Fred?
Same stuff as yesterday. I haven't really left the house, so feeling better though. I did a little workout this morning because I got some workout equipment here, and that was nice. And played poker all day. So my My hourly isn't very good because I played 8 hours and I'm up $50. So
Oh, man. So what's the? I haven't played online poker in a long time. Do they have online poker like Five Nights? I got Five Nights.
I think Five Dimes does. I've been playing on Bovada. Just my idea is that there's probably the most casual players on there. And I'm not good enough to play like really good players. So I want to play against other quarantine people that probably in the same boat as me.
Yeah, you know what's lame is so they shut down all the casinos.
Yeah.
And they basically shut down almost all the bars too, right? So it's like me and my friends were all like, "What are we going to do this weekend?" Because normally when around here, anyways, because I don't know what Jay does. I mean, what Jay does on the weekends, same thing he does every day. He sits in his house. But I mean, for cool people who do stuff, I'm like, what are we going to do this weekend? We're like, wait a minute, are we going to go out to the bar? No, can't do that. Are we going to go out to the casino? No, can't do that. Are we going to go to the game on the weekend? The Creighton game, or is there any game? No, nothing. What about watch the NCAA tournament? Go to the sports club, watch the NCAA tournament. No, can't do that. Well, we're in quarantine. Why don't we watch the self NCAA tournament at home on quarantine? No, can't do that. That's canceled. Like, there's literally like, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing to fucking do.
Yeah. Nothing's open over here, man.
Nah, no, nothing really. So I did. I had some time, so I was going to watch The Irishman, Jay, because you told me The Irishman is a good movie. It has Robert De Niro in it and Al Pacino. But season 3 of Castlevania dropped on Netflix. I watched that instead.
I started watching some fucking crazy 7-part documentary on Netflix last night about the tiger guy. Oh, I'm 3 episodes in. You got to watch it.
The tiger guy?
Yeah.
Give us a brief rundown.
It's about like a flaming gay, like tiger guy, like where he has like
Siegfried and Roy or Siegfried and Roy.
No, yeah, picture like somebody like him, right? That has a huge like tiger place where people, like a tiger park where I think it's in Florida, where people watch a show, and he's got people that work for him. I'm in episode 2 already. Somebody that works for him already got their arm eaten off by one of the tigers. And the guy goes to jail for planning a murder of the leading lady down there that's like in defense of tigers in cages. So I don't know how he planned it yet. I don't know if he actually killed her or if he didn't. But I know that he goes to jail because he tried to kill like the leading PETA lady down there. That's like, oh, it's crazy, bro. He's a polygamist, so he's married to 2 gay guys. It's I'm telling you right now, it's worth a watch. No matter how you fucking slice it, it's worth a watch.
So are they all just like a threesome together, or is it like sister wives deal where you have the husband and then the 2 wives? Is he like the husband and they're his 2? Like, I'm more interested in that. How's that working out?
It's called the name of the series is called Tiger King: Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. That's the name of the series.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I'll be watching episodes 4, 5, and 6 when we're off the show later on.
Oh, I'm gonna have to start that up. I watched, all of season 3 of Castlevania because I'm a nerd. And
did you watch Ozark yet?
No, I just told you I watched Castlevania.
Anthony,
What?
Ozark. Forget the Tiger King. Forget the gay tiger guy. Ozark.
Oh, really?
Ozark has to be watched, bro. It has to be watched.
All right, I will watch.
Ozark sucked. Nick, I'll never talk to you again. It sucked. How dare you?
All right, I'll watch Ozark. I did today though. I watched the first 5 because I was on Disney Plus, and I was able to watch the first 5 episodes of the final season of Clone Wars. So that was exciting.
Is it good?
Yeah. Hell, have you watched the Clone Wars show?
Yeah, but I didn't watch the new season because I think I only watched like 2 or 3 seasons, so I was gonna catch up first, but I haven't caught up.
Oh, dude, you gotta catch up, man. Oh, did you see that too? So, Greg, you'll know about this. You'll know about this character. Jay's not a nerd like us.
I know. I already know exactly what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Jay ain't no geek like us, but all us geeks out there who love ourselves some Star Wars, including the animated Star Wars properties like the Clone Wars TV show, are super geek for this one. The announcement came last night. Rosario Dawson is confirmed to be playing Ahsoka Tano in season 2 of The Mandalorian. The nerdgasm I jizzed when I saw that news.
I watched the whole Mandalorian. I can't get into the animated shit.
Oh, dude. I just how can I words cannot describe how excited I am to finally see Ahsoka Tano in a live action Star Wars property. She's like my favorite Star Wars character of all time, and she's finally going to be in a live action version of Star Wars, and it's going to be great. I was hoping they'd find a way to write her into the sequel trilogy, but they never did because they wanted to fuck everything up with Snoke and rewrite and retcon their previous movies and all that stuff. But yeah, so pretty stoked. Can't wait. Season 2 of The Mandalorian is going to be exciting. I loved that show. It was a good show, and it's going to be even better.
You fucking dweeb.
I am a dweeb. Hey, call me a dweeb all you want, but so far, no, she'll be the second cartoon-only character to be brought to a live action.
Who's the first?
Saw Gerrera, Forrest Whitaker's character in Rogue One.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, because I never made it far enough to see him.
Yeah, his character was a kid, or like a teenager, not a kid, but like his character was a teenager, and there was a story arc. There was like a 3-episode story arc involving his character and his character's sister in the Clone Wars TV show. So he was the first character to be brought from the cartoon show to the live action medium.
In the most recent Star Wars video game, Fallen Order, which is like the first RPG style one, he's in there too. So that was kind of fun.
All right. Yeah. So Greg and I are nerding out while Jay's like, I like Ozark.
Sasha Banks is going to be into it. That's awesome.
Oh, she's hot. Yeah. Diego goes, I just started this Tiger King doc. Have any of you guys seen it? You just missed the last 5 minutes of me talking about it.
Yeah, Jay's a fan.
I have seen it, and Daddy like. I'll be watching.
Is it? So far, is it better than Don't Fuck with Cats?
No, because I wasn't familiar with that story in Canada, and that shit just blew me away. No, but it's entertaining so far, and I'm 3 episodes in, and like they're just setting it up. Like they haven't even got to the whole story yet.
Oh, okay.
There's only 7 episodes.
Well, like my favorite part though about Don't Fuck with Cats was how they spent all this time talking to these people about how they're tracking this guy down with the whole cat killing thing. Oh, we're tracking him down. We're trying to catch him, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, like once he committed that actual real murder, the people who were like tracking him down the whole time that we spent the entire documentary with had nothing to do with capturing him. He just happened to be really, really shitty at getting away with murder. That was like the best part. I don't know if anyone else who watched Don't Fuck with Cats caught on to that, but like that was like one of the like when I got done with the series, that was like the first thing I thought about was like we just spent an entire documentary where the first 4/5 of it was focusing on a bunch of people who in the end had nothing to do with catching the guy. Like you see like the Montreal director of police or whatever they call him up there in Canada. They were like, yeah, we had him on camera entering his building with the murder victim. And then we have him on camera walking downstairs into his building's trash compactor and throwing body parts into it. He basically just had a big old collection of my murder evidence, just throwing it into the trash can of his condominium on videotape. We have this videotape that he sent out of him committing the murder. We have him on videotape at the airport. We have him on videotape. We know what country he went to. All of Europe is aware of who he is, and they're finding him. And 2 days after he escaped to Europe, he got caught by the German police. Turned out he was really fucking bad at getting away with murder. But
Are you familiar with the story spread?
No, but we spent five.
No, not that one. No.
But we spent 5 fucking hours with these nerds on the internet going, oh, we were really trying to track him down where he was and what he was doing and see if we could stop him or whatever. You guys did shit. You did nothing. You were fucking useless. You didn't stop.
Bro, you shouldn't have said anything. Spread hasn't watched it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Like they didn't do shit.
I've heard so much about it. I got a pretty good idea. And did you ever see the one on HBO? Was it called The Jinx? It was the really rich guy.
Oh yeah, I watched that. It's about what's his name, Robert.
Yeah, Robert something.
Yeah, he killed like 6 broads, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then
That's
caught him.
Great show.
They were doing the documentary on it, and they're interviewing him about it. He hadn't been caught yet. They caught him because he was taking.
He didn't turn his mic off. Yeah. That was one of the ones that when I started watching it, like I wanted to watch every episode. I think I watched like all 4 episodes in a row.
I did too. Could you imagine? Could you imagine being worth hundreds of millions of dollars, getting away scot-free with committing multiple murders of women? Everyone knows you did it, and the hubris you have to let them do a documentary film on you, and you get caught because when you go take the piss, you forget to turn your mic off, and you admit to killing the broads while taking a leak. I killed all of them. And that's how you get caught for murder. Live mic while taking a piss. You just admit to it. Like, what the fuck?
How about that shit?
Jay, let me ask you. If you committed, a couple of murders of women, and you've been investigated for these murders, and you used your vast fortune to get away scot-free, and some HBO filmmaker said, hey, I want to do a documentary and I want to interview you, and you're dumb enough to agree to be interviewed, if at some point during the documentary filming an interview, you decide you have to go pee and you forget to turn your mic off, while you're in just I killed all them bitches.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. That to this day, that baffles me how that happened. To this day, I cannot believe it. Jinx, that was such a good one. Oh my god. Oh. That's good stuff.
I'm betting a 4-2 exacta at
I don't
Charlestown.
know what that is, and I don't want to know what that is. So moving on.
So, Ant, what's your favorite HBO show ever? Obviously, like take out like The Wire and Sopranos because those are the obvious two.
But the funny thing is I stopped watching The Sopranos after the 2nd season, and I've never seen it on The Wire.
I think
really? Wow.
I think the second best show for me it's The Sopranos, but a close second for me is 6 Feet Under.
Did you guys ever watch Rome? That's my underrated favorite one.
Rome?
No,
Yeah.
but didn't it only have like 2 seasons?
Oh, wait a minute. What
Yeah.
am I saying, bro? Game of Thrones would be number 2.
Even
Number
with the
3.
bad ending.
Yeah.
That ending
Well,
kind of soured me
yeah,
on
but
it
I
so
mean,
much.
to be fair, the first 5 seasons were amazing,
Yeah.
but
Or-
after that, it went on a serious decline.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was I shocked that they fucked up that ending? Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about like Game of Thrones is like once they ran out of, and I wouldn't even say once they ran out of book material, because I say the decline started in season 5 when they basically tried to combine the plots of the 4th and 5th book into one season. Like they took 4 seasons to get through the plot of the first 3 books. But then the next 2 books, which were both equally as long as all the other 3, I mean the Feast of Crows and the Dance of Dragons were not little itty bitty novelettes. They were both like 1,000-page tomes, just as long as the other ones. But they tried to combine and condense all of that story arc into one season, and then seasons 6 through 8 they were on their own.
You know what the funny part about that is they were hurrying through season 8 because they wanted to hurry up and get started on Star Wars. And it was received so bad that Disney canceled their Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, it's like, and the funny thing is like the Danny going bad moment at the end. Like, I could have accepted it more if there was more setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there was more, they're better at foreshadowing it, probably.
You mean you don't like the whole fucking schizophrenic multiple personality disorder that they just happen to weave into the story in a 10-minute span?
Yeah, I thought might have been a little rushed. I mean, she's shown a penchant for cruelty before. When she, burned all the Dothraki at Dothrak or at the High Dothrak or whatever that Dothraki capital city was. When she burned them all down there. When she first marched into Marine, when she crucified all the slave masters. I mean, she's shown a penchant for being a bitch before, but I don't know, man. I just didn't buy it. I just was like, I didn't like it at all. And then it's just, the ending also just didn't make any sense either. Like, I didn't like how they handled the Dorne plot. The Dorne plot was fucking stupid. Like, can you explain to me, like, all right, so what's her name? The fucking lady who killed Doran Martell, who was Oberyn Martell's brother. He was the Prince of Dorne. She murders him, and now her and her bastard daughters are ruling Dorne. How's that work?
Wait, which part are you talking about?
Like in season 6.
The old lady Olenna?
No, the girlfriend of Oberyn Martell, who was the Red Viper, the guy who fought the Mountain in season 4,
Yeah.
who got killed in a single combat against the Mountain for Tyrion.
Yeah.
His girlfriend and her daughters murdered Doran Martell, Oberyn's brother. Doran Martell, a fucking Prince of Dorne. They murder them, and then like they're ruling Dorne for like the rest of the series. Like, how does that work? Like, there's no other.
They didn't have time to like do that right. Like they just didn't know what to do with that whole idea. And I think it was just getting terrible results, like on the feedback or whatever they get. So they pretty much just scrapped it.
Yeah, like the whole Dorne plot in the books is way more intricate than what they showed in the show. And the show kind of well, first of all, the show like wrote out like 4 characters that were very integral to that whole entire plot line. So right there, it's like it's already messed up. And then they just rewrite Doran Martell to be a fucking weak little pussy. And in the show, he's actually like this huge mastermind. Or in the books, he's like this huge mastermind. But it just never sat right with me that how do they murder him, but then they rule Dorne afterwards? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they're not going to rule Dorne because there's other there's other hierarchy in Dorne. There's lots of other houses in Dorne who are, powerful or whatever. They're not just going to go, oh yeah, that girlfriend of our leader's dead brother is now going to rule us because he murdered him. That's not how it works. It made no fucking sense. And that just never, it was the most illogical thing in the world, and I cannot get past that for the last 2 seasons of the show. I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, guys.
Did you ever watch The Tudors?
Yeah, I did. I loved that show.
Did you like how on that one that it just kind of reminded me of it because they made Henry's sister, they just combined both sisters into one woman. You only have one woman in the show, but in real life you had 2 sisters. But they didn't even feel like bothering with it, so we'll just give her the traits of both sisters. It kind of reminds me of what they did there with Dorne. They're like, oh,
the funny thing is you bring up The Tudors, right? The Tudors is one of the first shows I really, really dug on Showtime.
Yeah.
And now, for people who don't know, The Tudors is basically a fictional docuseries on the life of King Henry VIII, right? Mm-hmm. It's a really good show, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, I actually purchased this book.
Oh, cool.
The 6 Wives of King Henry VIII.
So how well do you remember the show?
I remember pretty well. I really liked it. I watched it. I have a bookcase right here, guys. That's why the book is right there, because I have a bookcase. So, I remember the show pretty well.
Do you remember the Duke that he fought with in season 1?
Wasn't that? Are you talking about the Duke or the Cardinal? The Cardinal mostly died, right?
Not the Cardinal. I almost want to say it's Henry Cavill, the guy that ended up being Superman.
Oh, Henry Cavill was in that show. He was just season 1. I thought he was in the show more than that. I remember Henry Cavill.
I thought he was the one that Henry ends up. They have a little beef, and then Henry gets rid of him in season 1. Anyways, I think he would have been a much better Henry than the guy they chose. Because Henry was so big at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
The guy that they chose.
6'3", which back then would be 6'8", 6'9",
Yeah, the guy that they chose was so little. And
and it's just not Henry VIII. Henry VIII was huge,
Yeah, you look at Henry VIII, he was fat, too, at the end. And the guy that they had playing him wasn't at all.
But even when he was young, he was a huge dude compared to everyone else. And that was kind of how he got away with it. It's he could physically intimidate as well as being the king,
Yeah. Oh, Marjorie Tyrell, the actress,
is in Game of Thrones too.
She played Anne Boleyn in His Second Wife,
and she did well, don't you think? I thought she killed that role.
Yeah, she got beheaded at the end, but she showed her titties in the Tudors. I don't think she. I don't think she showed her titties in Game of Thrones. Hey, Jay, do you want to see Marjorie Tyrell's titties?
Who is that? Is that the one with the sun?
Marjorie Tyrell was the chick that got blown up by Cersei. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
If you want to see her titties, that actress has sex scenes in The Tudors playing the character of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. So just let you know, just a little factoid there for you if you want to see some hot actresses and nudes.
I bet a $4 to $10 exact at Charlestown.
What the hell does that do with King Henry VIII and the second wife?
Not much. I'm just obviously the guys that are watching us bet on horses, so I just let them know. Right now, the 2 sitting first, the 4 stalking. See if he's got anything.
Hey, Aaron in the chat says Ian is a good guy looking out for the rest of us. See? There you go. At no point did you guys ever see Marjorie's tits in Game of Thrones, but they're right there. It's season 1, too. You don't even have to look that far. It's right there in season 1. You get to see her titties. And she's younger than that. I think it was 2010, so she's 5 years younger. She might only be 20 in the show. Tutors. And it's on Netflix. The Tudors is on Netflix, the entire series. Great show.
And it's funny because you already know what's going to happen, and it's still like captivating where you want to watch the next episode. You know,
Well, you don't
Not
really
Game
know
of Thrones, like you really want to know what happens. Like in this, you kind of know what's going to happen, but you're still like, oh, I
What's
got
funny
to.
was like I was always under the impression that like King Henry VIII like beheaded all of his wives,
Yeah,
and it turned out he only did that to 2 of them.
yeah. How
Yeah.
awesome is it to be the woman that outlasted him too? I mean, that's quite.
Jane
last one?
Jane Parr.
Is that her name? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, no, his 4th wife had it pretty good too.
Why?
Because they just got divorced, or
Was that the one that was like super young and super annoying?
No, the one that was super young and annoying got beheaded. That was his 5th wife.
Oh, okay.
Because she was,
hooked up with someone else, right?
yeah. But you're not allowed to cheat on the king when you're the king's. When
Yeah.
you're the queen. Yeah, that's
Even though he's running through all your like maid servants or whatever they're called.
Well, yeah. Well, the reason why, obviously, it's a chauvinistic and patriarchal society, but it's because it's for the secession. Like you have to be able to know that kid that broad pops out of her cooter belongs to the king, and if she's out there, whoring around and cheating on the king, you don't know if that's his kid or not. So they'd be like, oh, so that was like, he got killed for that. Was it just and right? No, I'm not defending it, but that's the reason why. No, his 5th wife died. No, his 4th wife was played by Joss Stone, the pop singer. And by pop singer, I mean she had like 2 albums back in the late 90s. But so she played his 4th wife. They were only married for like 5 months. And he just annulled it. But she got to live in a castle and have servants and live the life of royalty. And they gave her like the title of, Duchess of blah, 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 or whatever. They're basically like, hey, lady, he ain't that into you. We want to annul this whole thing, but we're going to give you a great alimony package.
Right.
And she was like, cool beans.
Yeah. It's either that or be beheaded. I'll take the house.
Yeah, so she made out really good. She wound up having a pretty good life too. It was his 1st wife, Catherine. Like she got fucked over.
Yeah,
but
the show does a really good job of making you sympathetic to her, right? I mean, they just make you seem so loyal and loving.
Yeah, he was such a dick. Well, he tried to excommunicate his daughters too.
Yeah. And one of them is Elizabeth, and he does. And that's why Elizabeth hates the idea of getting married so much, because she saw how all her stepmoms or moms were treated by her dad. So that's why if you watch the Elizabeth movies, it's fun because she'll sit there and she'll entertain suitors, but she's never going to marry anyone. Yeah. But she'll take all the gifts and, walk around the court with them. But
the funny thing was, and the show taught me this because I was not aware of this at all. So if anybody wants to know an interesting little factoid, the reason why you have the Anglican Church of England.
Oh, what's up, Martin?
So Jay, were you aware that the whole reason why there is the Church of England is solely and only because King Henry VIII back in the late 1400s.
Well, it's actually 1587 around.
Oh, 1587. Okay, thank you. The King Henry VIII back in the late 1500s wanted to divorce his 1st wife, and the Pope had to sign off on it. And the Pope said, fuck you.
Because the Spanish family that Catherine was from was not keen on that at all. So if that family would have been okay with it, the Pope would have been like, fine. But that family said no. And at the time, Italy was being invaded, and the chances of getting troops from Spain were much higher than getting troops from England. So they had to go basically with the Spanish side.
Yep. So the Church of England and the separation of England from the Catholic Church is solely because King Henry VIII threw a hissy fit and wanted to marry Anne Boleyn and divorce Catherine Parr.
Because Anne Boleyn would hook up with him like every single other woman in his whole court. She was the only one that wouldn't get with him. Everyone else was like, sure.
Yeah, that's like a fun little factoid. They're like,
Yeah.
why there's this Church of England?
Yeah.
Oh, 500 years ago, our
Yeah.
king wanted to divorce his wife.
And they went
Any
later.
other thing? Anything else in that story? No, our king just wanted to divorce his wife.
Yeah.
So now we have a whole new church.
And the reason that Anne Boleyn wouldn't hook up with him is because King Henry hooked up with her sister, knocked her up, and then just sent her. You know how the one girl got the awesome package? Anne Boleyn's sister got like a terrible package. She just got like a little shanty house out
With his
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, and so Anne Boleyn was like, I'm not letting that happen to me. Like, I'm not getting knocked up and going to some shanty house.
Well, there was how many bastards did he have? The show actually had a couple of them.
Yeah, well, Anne Boleyn's sister is one of them. I don't know the rest, but yeah, he probably had even more that we don't even know about, right?
Yeah, Boston Nick. It was not actually a divorce. What they wanted to legally call it was an annulment, because for legal terms and all that bullshit, by calling it an annulment, they basically it was like the marriage never happened, and it was important for King Henry VIII to have it considered an annulment and not a divorce. Now I can't remember all the details on why that was such an.
Well, he lied and he said that they never consummated the marriage, but she was like, "Yeah, we did." And,
oh yeah, we have a fucking kid, dude.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to say the marriage wasn't valid because she
hooked up with his brother.
Well, she was married to his brother originally. His
Yeah.
brother died.
Was she married or was she just betrothed?
No, she was married to his brother, but it was for less than a year because he died of illness because it was the 1500s and people did that. So his brother was like 15, 16 and died, and then they still wanted the marriage pact, so they're like, well, he didn't knock her up, so we got another son. You marry the other son, marry the younger son. So he married the younger son. So he tried using some verse in Leviticus to try and claim, since I married my brother's wife, so it's an invalid marriage. And that's what he was trying to argue and blah, blah, blah. Jay is completely uninterested in this conversation. Either because he finds it boring.
He's talking about Stuff Network, so we're okay.
Well, no, I'm
just I'm replying to a couple DMs, so do you, bro?
No, I was just wondering, is it because you find us boring, or is it because you actually have nothing to contribute because you know nothing about the history of King Henry VIII and you never watched the TV show?
I don't. All of those are true.
Hey, Jay, though, the Tudors it's a fun watch though if you want to watch it. Like I said, I mean, I even knew it was going to happen, because I didn't know about that area of history, because it's probably the most written about and most movies of any period in history, right? Have to be King Henry VIII and Elizabeth, right? If you just want to watch movies on them.
Yeah.
Just literature loves them.
It's like the book I just showed you. It's not even like it's just a historical book. You know what I mean? It's kind of like documenting and going through the whole thing. And I found it very fascinating. I think that whole Tudor dynasty involving King Henry VIII, his wives, and that whole story, I find that probably very, very interesting.
Yeah, I like Elizabeth a lot too, because she's a lot of fun with her. First of all, just leading the men along.
Well, who succeeded her though? Did the Tudor dynasty die with her?
Did she have a younger brother? I think she has a younger brother.
No, she had a younger brother, but he was the king. King Henry VIII died. Her younger brother, because he was the boy, jumped her in succession.
Oh, okay.
But he died at like age 14.
So he was the little child king? Yeah.
Yeah, he was the child king who died. Yeah.
And they were already running stuff because they're used to like having a child king, and then she came in and actually started running stuff.
No, she came in after her sister because she was the second daughter. Her sister was
Who are you talking about? Mary Queen of Scots?
No, Mary, who wanted to be Bloody Mary. They called her Bloody Mary.
Is that Mary Queen of Scots, or is that someone else?
No, not Queen of Scots. Mary was Bloody Mary. They called her Bloody Mary because, unlike her dad, who
She killed all Protestants, right?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
very Catholic,
Yeah.
and she tried to bring the England back into the fold of Catholicism, and she just fucking was like beheading Protestants like crazy, and that's why she was called Bloody Mary. And then she died from, because people died randomly back then. It was fucking weird. Can you imagine living back then and just being like, oh, I'm in, oh, I stubbed my toe, and then 2 weeks later you die of infection? It's like weird, man. But
Lotus Scalper asked, do you see more than 2 running backs drafted in the first round? I need to know this for a future bet. I would say that there's not a fucking chance.
Yeah, I can't either. Yeah, no way.
I'm thinking about taking the under
on 0.5, right?
Yeah, under a half running back drafted in the first round. I don't even think Jonathan Taylor goes in the first round.
Yeah, he's the one that might bust that bet up. But think about it. What team drafting late would draft a running back?
Well, you got to realize, too, that, under a half running back is plus 280. It's a huge underdog, you know?
Yeah, but one thing you got to think about, too, is why would you waste a first-round pick on a running back when running backs are like, I know you have running backs are a dime a dozen. They don't matter.
Right, unless you're trying to pick up like a special talent like Saquon. I don't know if we could say. Listen, I love Jonathan Taylor. I still don't think that he has a big enough edge over running backs that you're going to be able to grab in the second, third, and fourth round. That's why I think I might not even. I might take under a half running back.
Well, the other thing you got to think about, too, when you're talking about running backs is who is, the highest picked running back in the league so far right now. It was Saquon Barkley was a number 2 pick. And I said at the time, as a Giants fan, that was retarded of them to take Saquon Barkley at a number 2. Well, Saquon Barkley's been in the league for a couple of years, and the Giants have been like 3-13 both seasons. I mean, they don't matter. Like their nines, having a really good running back, a really talented running back does help out your offense, but they still don't matter enough to justify a high draft.
You want a winner, bro? I bet a nickel on over 5.5 wide receivers taken in the first round. This is probably the best wide receiver class in a long time. So I think we see minimum 6, maybe 7 wideouts in the first round.
Well, what do you think the over-under is on there even being a baseball game?
That's what's interesting.
I think that if we get to July 1st and baseball and the NBA haven't started yet, I would say baseball season is done. Because they're not going to play baseball in December and January.
They are.
They'd run like an 80-game season?
No. I think the NBA is guaranteed. They played so much of the year already. Yeah. Even if they come back for 2 weeks and start the playoffs.
The NBA literally could just come back and do playoffs. And if they have to, they could do playoffs in the empty stands. And
same thing with the NHL.
But the baseball, though, like you can't do like most of those are open air stadiums. So you're talking, yeah, you're right. Like if it goes into the past October, like you can't really be playing baseball in 20-degree weather.
Yeah, it's one thing for NFL teams to do it once a week. And when there's only like 8 games in December and January, but you're gonna be running baseball players out there for half the year, 80 games in the fucking freezing cold. There's no chance.
No, they'll probably
that's why I think there's a good shot that if we're where they like the NBA's talking behind the scenes, the owners are talking that the absolute earliest they think they come back is the end of June.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's the thing, though. I noticed. Remember, like a week and a half ago, when you still had some people claiming this is all overblown hype and it's just a hoax to make Trump look bad. Well, in the last 24 hours, you had almost 800 people have really died. So honestly, I don't think we're reacting enough. I know. Hey, Greg, your state's under shutdown, right? So what's that actually involving? Because my state hasn't gone that drastic yet. So I'm like wondering what is it like in California with the whole shutdown notice that Gavin Newsom.
I don't know because I kind of caught something earlier this week. I think it was just a cold, but just in case, I've been staying in. But from people I'm like talking to and texting, they say it doesn't really look that much different. I mean, other than everything being closed, but it's not like there's nobody on the streets or you're driving just down the street by yourself. Like it still seems like people are out and about doing stuff. So,
well, what I've noticed around here is it basically any job that involves a computer job or a desk job, all the desk jobs are shut down and doing work from home around here. Like if you still have another type of job, most of those are still operating, like mechanics and grocery stores, obviously, and what I do, that's still operating. But if you have a job where you're in an office building,
it's down.
You're working from home.
Yeah.
And I've noticed it in traffic.
What's the matter? You don't want my opinion, bro?
I've noticed
Joe Burrow to be #1 pick in the draft -225. I mean, nothing is a lock, but they're definitely taking a quarterback #1, and I think he's got the inside track on Tua.
Did you see my comment? I think it should be -500. I think it's a good.
I would be stunned if they took Chase Young and didn't go after a quarterback. They have to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Picks #1.
Bengals.
What? Bengals. Yeah, that means Joe Burrow is going to be a Cincinnati Bengal.
Who's from Ohio. So
where's
the true odds on that?
Gotta go.
Yeah, I agree. More like minus a nickel. I agree.
Where's the Red Rocket going?
Red Rocket.
He might have been New England.
Because I tried to figure out when Andy Dalton was a terrible quarterback because he's always been, he's never been a top 10 quarterback in the league. But Andy Dalton's never been terrible.
Who's better, Andy Dalton or Derek Carr?
Dalton.
That's a tough one.
No, Dalton's better than Carr.
I don't know. Fully healthy Derek Carr that 1 year, he was really good.
Yeah, I still don't think I still think Derek Carr gets a bad rap too. Again, I'm not waving the flag saying Derek Carr is a franchise QB or anything. Derek Carr is definitely an average quarterback, which, when you look at all the terrible quarterbacks in the league, I would take Derek Carr over, a lot of the guys in the league.
And who's the worst starter in the league right now?
Oh, God. Eli Manning just retired, so
he's out. You got to count him as Daniel Jones for their starter.
Trubisky's.
I was just gonna say Trubisky is a candidate.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that. Trubisky or
because the problem is truly bad quarterbacks tend not to be starters for very long. So I'm trying to think who's really really bad.
Fitzpatrick's better than Trubisky, right?
Yeah, but Fitzpatrick's
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick's that guy where he looks like he's really good. Oh, that's why he's not for just.
Yeah.
Who? I'm sorry, I got to scratch my back. God, who's the worst quarterback in the league? Eli Manning retired, so I don't really know who else I can say.
So you think Daniel Jones is better than Trubisky?
It's a tough call right now, but from what I've seen from him, I think I like more than what I've seen from Trubisky.
Aaron 007's got a point. He said Rivers looked pretty rough, and I know that he was a great quarterback before, but I think he's got to be in the conversation right now.
100%, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Who's Denver's quarterback?
Drew Lock.
Kid
from pretty well to end the season.
No, they're bad. They're all bad.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're asking me that, like, who I hate the most, it would probably be Trubisky.
Yeah, but I think that's just being part
Well,
of
he's not even going to be a
franchise.
starter
He gets more
anymore.
attention.
Trubisky, how the Bears going to
You don't think so? I wouldn't be surprised if they give him the starting job. I think they're going to get a lot of pressure from Pace, unless Foles just completely wins the job. If it's neck and neck, I think they'll give it to Trubisky.
I don't even think they'll have the season.
Oh, they're having the football.
First wideout selected in
Yeah.
the draft, CD Lamb plus 120. I say Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is all but guaranteed. I would think.
You guys are talking about sports leagues in the fall, and I think
the draft is happening, so we can bet.
Yeah,
that.
they drafted.
Well, what I'm telling you guys is, like, once we get off the show, I'm going on Amazon and I'm going to buy my Mad Max Thunderdome outfit because that's where we're headed here.
Well, I can't wait for the next show we're on because I expect you to be wearing it then.
No, I'm wearing that. I'm wearing that when I'm battling people on the road for oil. Okay. I'll. I don't know, dude. This. Oh, have you seen the press conferences? Have you seen?
Which one?
Anyone pick a press conference involving the president of the United States.
Oh, that guy.
Oh my God! You know, I think the veil of.
Did you see the video I tweeted out?
No, but how I want to word this?
The video I tweeted out when Trump was talking, and Dr. Fauci, the guy that's in charge of this whole mess, he put his head down and just was like, "Oh my God, get me the fuck out of here!" Go to my Twitter and look at that video. It's hysterical. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot, Lotus Scalper, but I think he's too thin. I think he needs to put on a lot of weight to be a number one wideout in the NFL. I think Jerry Jeudy is just too good.
Yeah,
I think he ends up in Oakland. I think Jeudy goes before top 12 and CeeDee Lamb sitting there at number 12.
Yeah,
it's Julio Jones all over again.
Yeah.
I just have a question though, or maybe it's just a statement, right?
Oh, Las Vegas, my bad.
So, is it that time where are we finally like, okay, shit's actually serious now, where it's no longer that funny that a con artist reality game show TV show is out there acting like a goofball, being an idiot as our president? It's no longer funny and amusing. It's actually kind of like
the CDC's got it on lockdown. President doesn't matter much.
That's true. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I thought it was kind of funny for a while. I'm like, these liberals with the pink pussy hats going crazy and crying, it's actually kind of funny. If it came down to it, if they're going to cry all over again, I might have voted for Trump in 2020 because I thought that shit was funny. And I'm like, he's not really doing any harm. I mean, is he goofy and not that good at this? Yeah, but I mean, there's mechanisms in place to whatever. But I don't know. Like a global pandemic is like, you kind of need somebody who's not a fucktard in charge. I mean, I'm okay with a fucktard in charge when things are just all shits and giggles, but things aren't shits and giggles right now.
And long-term changes due to this. Do you think here's one of mine I might suggest. We get more working from home and office retail space declines in value. Because a bunch of companies are like, wait, why are we paying for this office space?
I think that is going to be definitely something that happens. Here's another thing you got to think about, too. Remember the old, because you used to work in the corporate world, right?
Yes, I did.
And back before I had my current job, I was in management and I was in the corporate world and I had to deal with this, too. So was there ever a conference call or a meeting that you had in your entire life that could not have just been summed up in an email and sent out.
Yeah, no, so many of them are just CYA for the company, right?
Yeah.
They just want to make sure, okay, he was there. You have to sign that you're in attendance, that you listened to
Right?
what it was.
I have literally, I'm serious. Okay, I've literally been in conference calls.
I'm betting the 3 at Los Al to win.
I've literally been in management team conference calls with the entire district managers and everyone on the management team is on the conference call, and we all have to be in front of our computers. And the district manager is screen sharing his fucking computer, going over everything with us, and he's screen sharing the fucking PowerPoint from the email he sent us the previous day.
Yeah.
And so the motherfucker sends out an email, right?
Yeah.
With the PowerPoint attachment that we all have to read and then respond back, verifying that we read the PowerPoint, we understand the program, and now we're going to start implementing these new policies, right?
Yeah.
And now we got to sit in a 2-hour-long fucking conference call where the son of a bitch is literally just reading the email he sent.
Sometimes they would make us read it all. We would have to go around in the circle and like take turns reading each paragraph.
Right?
What we're going to sign. Like, guys, we could just read this and sign it. Like,
oh, the worst too is like this is me during every conference call because I'm like I'm in the management office of my store. Right. I'm looking at the email. I got the fucking conference call on. I'm on mute, obviously, because you don't want to be on speed. Yeah. You don't want to be on mute on conference call. I'm just playing Candy Crush. And Anthony, read out this next sentence. I'm like, what? And now I wasn't even paying attention to a fucking word the son of a bitch said for the last 45 minutes. And now I'm called out on spot. I'm trying to guess where he's at on the screen share. I'm like, yeah, this is what the next paragraph says, Kelly. Like, I don't fucking know. So, like, bro, I was totally not paying attention to you because I read that shit yesterday. But, yeah, so this whole coronavirus has allow people to realize, oh, wait a minute, like, yeah, truly, all these meetings are bullshit. I know a lot of people who've like been pretty ecstatic about the fact that they don't have to deal with that anymore.
That is Cutter Landing, who's going to come up third place probably last time out in the former trainer.
Aaron 007 says before lockdown, conference call for Tinder time. Did you ever
so I don't do this, but I've talked to a couple of friends that are single, and they're like, "Dude, Tinder's surprisingly popping right now. Like, I thought it would be dead," and I'm like, "No way."
Oh, great. So, did you ever have this one, right? Where you guys all had to be in an in-person meeting, and your company, right? Hi, Jeff. Your company, right? They would rent out a conference hall at like the local Holiday Inn or whatever hotel. So they would rent out a conference room, and then they would just go over the PowerPoint for 2 hours for this conference call, and they would pay fucking cash money to rent this goddamn conference space for the Holiday Inn and pull every manager from.
Luckily, UPS was pretty cheap about that. We always had ours on site, so it would be. They'd have conference buildings built into our hub, so it would just be different hubs we'd have to go to.
We all had to meet at the Holiday Inn conference room, dude.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The district manager could give us a PowerPoint on the fucking email they sent the day before. Thank you, COVID-19, because this is no longer a thing. Jesus Christ. That's like, yeah, and far be it for you to be like the only manager in the entire room. There's like 20 other managers in the room, like your entire management team's there from the entire district. You want to just raise your hand and go, did we all really have to come here? Like, this was literally yesterday's email.
Yeah. So what's up, Jeff? How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. What are you up to? Anything different since the last time we talked?
No, not really. Same old shit.
Oh, Aaron 007 says he had to fly from New York City to Seattle for a business dinner and then flew a red-eye back to New York City. What a fucking What a fucking waste of money, man. You know, we see that's the funny thing too. Is like it all goes on the company card, right?
Yeah.
I actually had a district manager get fired one time for corporate card abuse. Which,
Yeah, that definitely happened at UPS.
did they actually not?
They took him to the strip club. It was like, what were they thinking? I mean, obviously they were not sober when they did this.
Oh, what she did though, right? So her assistant, she had her assistant write up and submit all of her expenses, right? So her assistant handled all of her expense reports on her corporate card. And she's like the district manager. She's over like the entire team. And now also remind you too, she was a horrible thunder cunt and everyone hated her. Like her entire management team hated her. And she treated her assistant, who was handling her fucking expense reports, like dog shit. Well, I happened to be friends with her assistant at the time, so her assistant kind of like told me the whole story. So it's like, hey, wait a minute. If you're committing corporate card abuse by having upwards of $25,000 worth of your personal debt on your corporate credit card, the person who submits all your expense reports, do you think you might want to be nice to them? Yeah. So she got walked out. She got fired, and it's just like the funniest thing. It's just like, really? Like she had her daughter's dance class recitals on the corporate card. You know, she had her fucking grocery store trips to the on the corporate credit card. When she had like all the managers had to meet somewhere, like you're not supposed to put alcohol on the corporate credit card. She bought everybody alcohol at dinner. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff. Like it turned out to be like $25,000 worth of her own personal debt that she had to pay back.
Yeah.
Was on the corporate credit card, and she would have never really gotten caught, but she pissed off her personal assistant, who filed her expense reports.
Prescription drug coverage.
It's like I'm so whatever, lady. That was like the funniest thing ever. I'm like. It wasn't right. She's like one of those people where everyone was like, how did she get to the position she's in? Like, how are you a district manager with like a management team underneath you of like 50 people? Like, how are you in charge of 50 other managers directly under you and you're this fucking incompetent? It kind of one of the reasons why I left the company. I'm like, those are the kind of people they promote. You know?
The vigor and the faith. This is our industry. This is our life's work.
Jeff, you know you're on mute, bud. I don't know if you're talking, but
I know. I'm eating something. I didn't want to chomp.
Oh, all right.
welcome
Okay.
back here on TVT. Dave Weaver. Let's see what's going on at Sam Houston.
Hey Jay,
Yeah.
you getting in on this pick 4?
Where?
Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Don't be a pussy.
No, I'm doing good, man. I'm up. I hit that 20-1 across the board, and then the pick 4 with you, the pick 6. I'm up about like 1,300 in the account right now.
Yeah, that 520 or whatever was nice.
Yeah. I'm in. Yeah. Count me in.
All right. Tell me when you're ready. I'll do it. Races 7 through 10.
As we've got 7 stakes races consecutively at Sam Houston.
Is this your own ticket, Jeff?
Yeah.
Over at Ready, gave money for the quarter horses in the next few races.
All right, hang
That
on.
520 was my ticket too, motherfucker. You tell me.
Yeah, but it was the exact TVG had the exact ticket.
No, I'm pretty sure we added one to that. I may be wrong, but
Race. Oh, it's race 7. They're only on race 3 right now.
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to play the pick 5. I mean, I bet it like per race till then.
All right, what is it? Go ahead.
All right, race 7, 5, 6, 8, 10.
Yeah.
Race 8, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 7891. I'm sorry, 7891.
Okay.
Race 9, 5, 7, 8, and race 10, 5, 7, 11.
All right. Are you self-quarantining, Jeff?
I mean,
The ticket costs you 144.
no, 72.
Oh, okay. I got to put it in for 50 cents. All right.
All
right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing as best I can, I guess.
Is how's things in Philly? Is like anything seeming different? Are grocery stores empty, or is the streets empty, or?
No, streets aren't empty. I mean, people are, still doing a lot of shit, to be honest. But all businesses are closed, other than like restaurants and pharmacies and shit like that.
I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed, like coming home from work. So the other day was the first time, like, cause I'll take the interstate home from work, from downtown to my house, and the interstate the main interstate that runs through Omaha, the I-80. So I'm taking I-80 home, and it's the first time in my entire life that I can go 80 miles an hour down I-80 during rush hour traffic.
Yeah, I mean, roads are definitely better.
I was going 80, and I was getting passed. People fucking passed me, and I was doing 80 miles an hour. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. And I'm like, what the fuck? We need more pandemics. This is amazing. I got home in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for like trucks and stuff that have to like get places. It's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it's just baffling to me, like how much less traffic there is. Normally, traffic in Omaha has never been like that bad compared to some major cities, but it's still a decent sized city, so you still run into fucking traffic jams and shit like that. And just being able to just blow down the interstate like this goddamn German Autobahn was just ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a lot quieter for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so I told Jay this story when we first got on, right? So Jay and I started the show 14 months ago, Jeff.
Yeah.
And my dogs yipping and yapping have been a problem for 14 fucking months. And for 14 fucking months, I've told my husband, I'm like, hey, can you do something to keep those dogs quiet? And his response has always been, they're dogs, Anthony. What are you going to do? Dogs are dogs. I can say, hey, quiet, but in the end, they're just dogs, so get over it. All right. So he has to work from home now, so he had to get everything set up on Friday. So the last 2 hours of his job at work, he was working from home. He had his entire phone set up, so he's taking calls and everything like that at the house from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock because he gets off at 5. So he's taking calls for 2 fucking hours, and I get a notification from Amazon that my order of 2 shot collars will be delivered on Tuesday. 14 fucking months I'm telling this guy, can you do something about these dogs barking? And he tells me to eat a dick, basically. 2 hours. 2 hours of taking phone calls at home for work. And I'm getting a bill for $100 for some shot collars. I'm like, wow. I told you them sons of bitches were loud, Nate. Like,
that's funny.
I thought it was, I'm not even mad. I'm like, okay, yeah, I thought it was funny too. I was like, wow, okay.
That's funny. Yeah, he wasn't having that.
He's the supervisor too, so he's got to like have the setup on. Like he doesn't even get on. He doesn't even get on a call until someone like upticks it to him. He has to sit in and listen to these fucking calls all day until someone fucking yells at the other representative, and he has to handle it. So, but it's just like absurd.
He wasn't having that anymore.
Nope. Yeah, and the thing is, like, these dogs are his world. Like, I love my babies, but like these dogs are his fucking world. So the idea that he got that mad that he put a shot collar on these things, is kind of like, oh wow, so you were up. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a new desk though, because he's already talked about taking my computer down here and taking it downstairs where he has his computer set up. So,
How long do you think you're going to be doing that?
oh, I don't know. I have no idea until this whole thing's over with. And then, shoot, after this whole thing blows over, like Greg and I, that's what we were talking about before you just got on. All these businesses are going to realize, like, why are we renting all this office space when it turns out all these people just work from home?
Exactly.
So, fuck, he might work from home forever.
Yeah, I mean, the whole office thing is kind of
Outdated.
dumb.
Yeah, like I got this Marriott reservation center that's like 5 blocks from my house. It's like this worldwide reservation center, right? Half of their employees, they started doing this about 5 years ago. Like half their employees work from home. Because I have a couple of friends who got jobs there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they just give you a laptop and a headset, and you just work from home."
I never understood like why call centers have like call centers.
Oh, there's so many of them. There's so many of them in the city. Like Gallup, one of Gallup's main call centers is here in Omaha. It's actually like 5 minutes from my house. They're all work from home right now. That entire facility is work from home at the moment. I drove by the TD Ameritrade building. I mean, its parking lot was empty. I think they're all working from home right now.
You gotta admit though, most of this country is fucking quarantined.
Yeah,
Like most people are following the fucking rules.
like my job's not quarantining, but my job doesn't allow me to work from home because I drive. So I like to be working from home, though. I like to not have to.
I pretty much had my dream job and that got taken away.
Yeah, that sucks. And I mean,
Hopefully it will come back when we get sports back.
if it makes you feel better, you're not the only one. That doesn't make you feel better, but yeah.
I mean, I'll be all right. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yo, they just canceled the whole rest of the race card at Sam Houston
Why?
because they can't get the lights to work.
They didn't cancel it. They'll fix it.
No, they I just heard the guy in TVG said that it's going to take too long. They just made the difficult decision to cancel the remaining
How is there even still horse racing?
They're stakes races. How the fuck are you going to cancel them?
It says, due to circumstances beyond our control, the remainder of tonight's live
What
card
the fuck?
has been canceled. So cancel that $72 pick 4.
Well,
Well, I have a question though for you guys. Is like, how is horse racing still going?
because there's
I don't
no.
know, bro. The whole state of California is on lockdown, and Jeff and I are hitting pick 4s at Santa Anita. Like, I don't get it. I have no idea.
Because they're not directly, like, there's really no one there outside of jockeys and trainers. And, like,
Yeah, even the TVG crew is doing it from home.
all right, I'm betting a pick 3 at Charlestown.
I'm definitely going to bet the late pick 4 at
Hold
Los
on.
Al.
I gotta say a special what up to D Money. He's in the chat. I'm just looking at the chat for the first time in like 20 minutes, guys. So what up, D Money? What up,
D.
Alex Ramirez?
The only fucking one of 2 real Kansas City Chief fans before they won the Super Bowl.
How the fuck do you not get your lights? Like, what the
How
fuck?
the? I sure hope the other one you're talking about is my sister, Jason.
It is, yeah.
Remember, I actually think she was proven right, and I almost don't want to ever take your advice again. Because remember back in the midsummer when you were doing an NFL preview, and I was doing the show from her house at a barbecue on my phone, and I said, "Hold on, why don't you repeat what you have to say about the Kansas City Chiefs to my sister?" And you said, "They'll be good. They'll be a contender." But they're a couple years away from winning the Super Bowl. They won't win it this year.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
she's-
what I said. Yeah, I thought they were
And-
1 year away.
And she called you a stupid fuck who didn't know a fucking thing about football.
Yes, she did.
Was she right?
No,
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
No, I'm just
she
kidding.
was. She wasn't right.
Dude, I love her though. You gotta love her. And do you remember that video I sent you where she was like going on that tirade about Tom Brady during the AFC title game last season.
Yeah.
Where she was just sitting there drinking, smoking her cigarette, just dropped 75 F-bombs about how Tom Brady's sucking all the referees' dicks, and that's why he got
Yeah, I
that
was
call.
happy. I was happy for her and D Money that day.
She didn't realize I was recording her rant, and when I sent her that video like 8 months later. I just posted that video on her Facebook to fuck with her, and she's like, "Oh my god, I forgot all about that. You were filming that?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, how many people have you shown that to? I'm like, because she's like, fuck Tom Brady. Of course they're going to overturn this call for him. He's sucking the referee's dick. Bill Belichick's sucking the referee's dick too. And I'm like, my sister's got a potty mouth.
Hey, Jeff, what do you think of the Raiders getting one of your old number one picks in Aguilar?
Good. See ya.
He's no good.
Yeah, he's a blowjob.
No, he lost us games last year because he dropped fucking passes.
Okay.
Yo, it's spread. Did you see that video that's going around of like they like had a hot helicopter above Venice Beach and they're like people playing basketball and
Oh yeah,
like at the beach and shit.
yeah, yeah. Because it's like they say lockdown, but they can't really enforce it, So
Well, what they should do, especially for all those spring breakers, just have those helicopters. Like, do what they do when they hunt wolves. Go up in a helicopter with a machine gun outside.
Shoot into the ocean.
Yeah, because they're fucking Gen Z. I mean, no one's going to miss them.
oh wow.
Oh, come on. Those fucking pussies don't even know what gender they are. Everybody knew what the fuck they were up until Gen Z started getting old enough. And then all of a sudden, we had 75 fucking gender identities. And I'm like, even transgender people knew what the fuck they were. Now I gotta call someone Z Zim Zir. Fuck off, Gen Z. Jesus. Hold all down, baby. I don't know. And the other thing I'm sick of is the goddamn baby boomers fucking always confusing the shit Gen Z does on millennials. I'm 35 years old. All right. I got a spouse. I got a fucking house. I got 2 car payments. I got a career. I got a very decent income. All right. I'm not a goddamn Tide Pod eater. Boomers.
You're not a millennial.
Someone please tell the fucking baby boomers that millennials are in their 30s now, all right? Those Tide Pod eaters were Gen Z. They think anyone who's younger than them is a millennial. Like, all these boomers are like, oh, goddamn millennials. That was a 15-year-old you're bitching about, boomer. That ain't a millennial. Like, fuck. The youngest millennial is 25. There's already another generation below us, baby boomers. Fucking learn that, okay? Stop blaming the shit. Like they fucking say that to all them them damn spring breakers in Florida saying, I'm not worried about the coronavirus, I'm gonna keep partying. Sure enough, baby boomers on fucking Facebook and Twitter like, these goddamn millennials gonna kill us all. Those aren't millennials. Millennials are not in college anymore.
I mean, TVG, are you gonna fucking refund me, you fucking clowns? I can't fucking bet. Refund me, dickheads.
Boston Nick, yeah, you are a millennial, dude. Millennials are 25 to 39. Millennials are almost 40. The oldest millennials are actually will be 40 next year.
Millennials are assholes, or Generation Z are assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff.
I think I'm Generation X.
Yeah, Jay, you're like
I am.
Jay. How old are you?
X.
39.
Yeah, I'll be 40 in October.
You're an in betweener. You're on the cusp of both generations.
I'm pure Gen X, right, Ant?
Yeah, you're pure Gen X.
Yeah.
You're 43, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Gen X. But Jay, you're on the cusp. Like you can literally claim both Gen X and millennial, Jay. Like depending on
Gen Y.
Yeah, like a lot of sociologists are saying there's like a bridge generation of like 3 to 4 years that they call like the Zennials, like basically the mix between Gen X and millennial. That would be like J. So basically, like 37 to 40-year-olds kind of fall into that range right now. But yeah, that's the thing though, is like baby boomers who keep pissing me off with this, like they don't realize like millennials are not that young anymore. I mean, when they got mad at fucking 18 and 20-year-olds 10 years ago, and all of them goddamn millennials, well, that was 10 years ago. So anytime they still see an 18-year-old,
Yeah, it says that
years hasn't passed.
it says that I'm a millennial technically. It says Generation X was born between 1965 and 1979. Millennials or Generation Y were born between 1980 and 1994. I was born in October of 80.
Yeah, so you're basically like the oldest millennial and the youngest Gen Xer.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Wait, never mind.
Hey, we got a good question from Loaded Scalper. He says over under 0.5 tight ends drafted in the first round. There has to be one drafted, right? Who's the tight end that could go in the first round, you guys think?
I mean, I'm not sure there are any.
Yeah, so I was thinking too. It's not like last year, right, where they had Font and the other guy from Iowa. Yeah,
Hawkinson.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Hawkinson.
to think. I mean,
both of them from Iowa went in the first round.
Yeah.
I guess there maybe one guy like that's like maybe a fringe guy. Let me think here.
Well, the favorite to be drafted tight end is Cole Met. He's minus 135. Adam Troutman is plus 500. Bryson Hopkins plus 700.
I mean, I would be
Thaddeus Moss plus. Yeah,
I'd be betting that under. I mean, I don't think there's a tight end drafted to like 45-ish, probably.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some people on gambling Twitter right now betting on Nicaraguan Premier League soccer.
Yeah.
Is anybody interested in betting on Nicaraguan soccer?
I don't even have that as an option.
Hey, Jay.
John has it, right, Ant?
I
Yeah,
have no idea. I was not joking about the guy talking about Nicaraguan soccer,
Hey,
but
Jay,
I was joking about actually betting it.
Our
I'm
boy
taking the-
Tweety Dimes put out a pick for it.
I'm taking the one at Charlestown, Jay. Charlestown 6.
So here's the funny thing. This is how you know that a lot of people are kind of degenerate gamblers. Is we've literally been without mainline sports for just a handful of days. In some cases, not even a full week. But you can even say, even if it has been a full week, it literally took about 3 days for this to start happening. But like within 3 days, people were like giving out picks for the most obscure soccer leagues, fucking cricket. When it's like,
Yeah, but we were talking about that earlier. Like, in my opinion, and like, I'm not saying I'm great at everything, but I think if you're a true gambler, you can insert yourself into anything and find a way. So, like horse racing, I don't claim to be a professional horse bettor, but I can insert myself in and find ways to make money with it. Same with table games, you know. I can play all of them. You know, I feel like, I mean, if you can cap something, like if you can cap the Premier League, if you just do a little research, I feel like you could cap, you know, Belarus or wherever the hell you're.
I agree. It all comes down to the data. If you could put data in front of somebody that knows how to decipher it, then you could find an edge.
What about the people who are betting the weather now?
That's crazy.
Data's there too. I'll be honest, Blackjack Fletcher's been betting on the weather for a while. Let me be the first to say that. I remember he told me about it like a year ago. He's like, I've been betting on the weather, man. I've been making some decent money with it.
It's so wild.
There's like a website that like
Yeah.
it's like only weather betting.
No, Bovada started offering it because
Really?
everyone in my gambling chats was asking like, "Hey, what's it like out there?" Because they're trying to get the.
So, so am I like the only one with all the sports shut down and all the casinos shut down who just has been okay with going, all right, I guess I'm not gambling right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm playing online poker pretty much every day.
Yeah, we have Poker Stars here, so I've been.
I mean, I guess I could fire up an online poker account, maybe. I don't know. But
I mean, if anyone's curious, on 5Dimes right now, you can bet on does Mike Pence have coronavirus, and it's already been said that he's negative, so you could literally bet on it right now and get free money.
yeah, but what's the cutoff date for that bet? Because then he could get tested again and he could have it.
Must be confirmed by the White House by 3/21/20.
That's today, so you probably already won.
Oh, you can still bet it.
Hold on, 5Dimes?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go on there. I'm logging on the 5Dimes right now. Let's see. All right, what tab's it under?
COVID-19.
And we're going to bet on disease, guys.
According to Judge Janine Pirro, she just said like 20 minutes ago that he's negative. And it's still up.
It has to be confirmed by the end of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be Eastern Standard Time, so there's only a couple hours left. COVID-19. I'm going in there.
I mean, I'm literally about to bet 1,500 to win 100.
Hold on. Must be confirmed by White House. Grade based on results by test taken by Mike Pence on 3/21. Results must be announced before 4/1/2020 for action.
Janine Pirro just said he's negative. She started the show off with it.
Mm-hmm. And it's minus 1,500.
I'm betting it.
All right, I'm going to bet it too.
We're betting $100, 1,500 to win 100 on that.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta pick up free money. Well, what did Jay say?
Jay, you in on that? You're muted.
Jay, you're muted.
I don't think I have it as an option.
We on 5Dimes is like the only place is offering it.
You didn't like the 4 at Charlestown at all, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think at exacta 1-4 is good. Or 4-1, whatever box.
I can't believe the first bet I'm making in a week is a minus 1,500.
It's all about value, dog.
Yeah, some people go minus 1,500 is negative, never value. But then you go, I mean, it's free money, so, like Jay said, you're not risking anything. It's just finding a $100 bill on the street and picking it up. Jay, you probably still have time to set up a Coinbase account, then deposit the money from the Coinbase into your 5Dimes account, and then,
It's just how bad do you want to make that $100?
I got $20,000 just waiting to fire on Bitcoin in there, bro.
There you go, talking about your money on an open internet chat again.
Oh, fuck.
Bro, like, Jeff, we'll talk about this off air, but like,
I've talked to him about it already.
I bet that.
The naivety of Jay when it comes to this stuff is like baffling to me.
Jay, you want to see something?
I bet a 1-4 straight exacta with your 1.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, what is
a piece of paper? I can't read it though.
See what that says?
No.
There's an address that I can't read. That's fuzzy. BMOC. I saw that.
Look. That's what you need to get, Jay, right there.
What is that?
An LLC?
Yeah. That's what you need to get, Jay Bird.
Jeff, do you think you're one wires this field right now, bro?
Yeah, I'm hoping 1-4. Let's go, baby.
1-4. I bet the exacta straight. 1-4.
Don't tell me what happens, Jay. Come on, man.
Yeah, I won't. I didn't back it up the other way though.
I just bet it 1-4, to be honest. Come on, wire to wire.
You didn't bet the one to win then.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I bet the one to win too.
Yeah, that's what
Damn,
I figured.
one close 7-2. Yeah,
I bet the one. I bet the 1-4 straight exacta.
I don't think there's any shot he runs this fucking field. Holy shit, he's got some speed to him. I'll tell you. Come on, keep on your front foot, Juan. Come on. Oh no, here comes a 3. 3's gonna throw a wrench into our plans. Get past him. 3's not going away. 3's gonna win.
So
3's gonna win. Fuck, man. Totally forgot about that 3.
What were you saying, Ant?
nah, it's like so my buddy, because I just wanted to bitch about this one thing. So my buddy just posted in like his wedding group chat or whatever, that they are going to have to redo the date because of the whole coronavirus. But here's the thing: the motherfucker's wedding is it's a destination wedding at a resort in Mexico. Now, can you tell me, is there anything worse than assholes who send you a fucking invitation to go to their wedding that's in another country, some fucking resort wedding? Like, what, am I supposed to use up my vacation funds, my vacation time to go to your fucking wedding?
Yeah, I have a spread. Matter of fact, I have a wedding coming up in LA. You're in Sacramento, but yeah, that's how it is too.
Yeah, but this is the first son of a bitch who's done this. Like, is anybody okay with this? Show of hands if you guys want to give your opinion on this. But I am totally against this. And if anybody in the chat has had a destination wedding, I'm going to tell you right now, you're a cunt. And that's my opinion. It's
Isn't that just like a polite way to keep the wedding small?
Maybe it might be. Because it's like, well, first of all, we're in America. 50% of the population doesn't even have a fucking passport. So if your friends don't have a passport, you're basically saying, hey, first of all, go buy a passport. All right, that might not be a big deal because passports are easy to get. But now you're saying, all right, take up your vacation time, spend money on my wedding. It's my fucking wedding, but spend thousands of dollars to attend my wedding. Fuck you. No. So, do you have an opinion on that, Greg?
I mean, I just figured they want to keep it small. I had a friend of mine who did the same thing in Jamaica. It's like, I'm not going to Jamaica. Like, thank you, though.
By the way, for anyone that wants to make $100 right now, 5 Dimes still has Mike Pence's test, positive or negative, up. He's negative. A little bit of inside info for you folks.
Yeah, it's minus 1,500, but negative. If you only have $50 in your 5 Dimes account, you can make a quick $3.
Hey, Jay.
CNN said that he was negative.
Jay.
Yo.
I did the pick 3 at Charlestown. I alled every race.
And what did that cost you?
$70. I'm just hoping I can get a price. That's my goal. First one was $7.20, so I need good ones here.
What was it? A $1 pick 3?
No, 50 cents. I never play any unless it's a really low ticket. I always play 50 cent pick 3, pick 4. I'm hoping I can get in the next race. There's a 20-1 and a 14-1. I'm hoping I can get some luck.
What's going on with Twitter headlines, Ant? Anything worth talking about?
The NRA is using the coronavirus pandemic to try and sell guns.
They don't need to try. It's already happening.
Yeah, I know. It says here's the tweet. Americans are flocking to gun stores because they know the only reliable self-defense during crisis is the Second Amendment. Carletta Whiting, who's disabled and vulnerable to coronavirus, asked Dems trying to exploit the pandemic, "Why do you want to leave people like me defenseless?" And then and then my question is, and Jay knows this, and people who pay attention and can read in between the lines all know this. I am not a gun grabber. I love my guns. Guns are fantastic. I think if you don't own a gun, you're less than a man. Guns are amazing. But can
Really?
someone please, but can someone please explain to me how the fuck a gun is supposed to protect you from a? I mean, you can't shoot the virus.
People think that people are thinking that there's going to be people running the streets like stealing food and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just like it's literally. I didn't want to talk about. I wasn't setting up to talk about guns, but I literally opened up my Twitter feed, and this is like one of the first tweets on there. Is like this, someone's quote tweeting this tweet from the NRA, and it's just like confusing to me. Like, how is a pandemic a Second Amendment issue? But whatever. Moving on.
Can you look at the video I just tweeted out on Twitter, please?
By the way, tell me that once all this is over and like 20 years down the road, Anthony Fauci writes a book. That would be fascinating to read about this whole shit show with Trump and what he like really thinks.
Yeah, I'd read.
I saw that video. It didn't look terrible, like the way he landed, but I don't understand.
Are you talking about the dude who just jumped off that balcony?
I mean, what in the actual fuck?
He didn't land on his head though, luckily.
What did he do that for? Why did he jump off the balcony?
I could not tell you.
I'll tell you why. My guess would be he was on PCP, probably.
I mean, I've done my fair share of drugs in the past, and I've never jumped off.
Yeah, but PCP makes you do crazy shit. Brother.
I've never done PCP, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of,
or like peyote. Anyway, yeah, I'd read a book that Fauci wrote just for all the work he did in the 80s with AIDS.
No, but say it's like a tell-all book where like during his like what he really thinks about what like Trump says and shit.
Oh, he thinks Trump's a fucking moron. That is like apparent.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that is super apparent.
You gotta admit though that when he yelled at that reporter yesterday, that was pretty funny. You have to admit.
Like when Trump, when the reporter said, "What do you say to Americans who are scared right now?" And he just goes, "You're a bad reporter."
He goes, "I think you're a terrible reporter."
I'm like, yeah, well, that's another thing too, where it's like, Donald, that's not really like an appropriate response to that question.
And then he goes, yeah, but that would surprise me. He goes, you work for Comcast, not Comcast, Comcast.
So stupid.
Oh, Donald Trump calling someone else a con. That's rich. Would he like to disclose what he had to pay out for that?
He really is going, every time someone asks him, like, why isn't he doing shit? He always goes back on like well, I did close the border with China and that was good enough.
Oh, would you remember when they like asked him like, "Hey, remember that time you fired the entire pandemic response team that we had in place?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Never happened. Never did that." And then they're like, "No, really. There's the order. We have it online. Here's the paperwork that was filled out, and yeah, you fired the entire pandemic response team in 2018." Nope, don't know what you're talking about. Didn't do that at all. Next question. Oh,
no, he was like, well,
here it is.
He's like, I don't know if someone did it in this team. Someone may have done it there.
He's so full of shit.
All right, Jay, I'm getting really degenerate, Jay.
You going to bet on the weather?
I just did like a random superfecta.
God.
Jay.
What is a
that's
you have
pretty
you have to pick all 4 horses that come in first, second, third, and fourth in a row.
Oh, that sounds very likely to hit.
All right, Jay. Turfway Park, 10-2, 13-7.
What did you box it for $24?
No, I just straight.
Wow, that's DG.
20 cents straight. Listen, by the way, the 10's not losing this race at Turfway. 10, race 8. That horse is not losing. It's pick 5 stuff, Jay. This would be a single and a pick 5. Get on it, Jay. Don't be a pussy.
The 10 at Turfway. Huh? What race?
8. Where's Turfway Park? Trivia question.
Florida?
Kentucky. Hey, you got any trivia spread? Trivia for Sopranos?
Oh, I know. I'll have to rewatch it. I don't have any good ones right now. I pretty much gave up on stumping you on that. Like, it'd have to be like some obscure thing.
Well, what I can't wait for is, can you believe I have not watched this yet? I'm sure Jay's probably already watched it because Jay's already said it's the best show in TV history. And
Yeah, it
he's
is.
probably correct. No, different show. Have you seen El Camino yet, Jay?
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I got completely bored.
Yeah,
What?
I
Is
agree
it
with all
bad?
that.
I
agree
haven't
with all
watched it yet. I have not watched it yet.
that. It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's pointless. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah. That
doesn't
you're
really-
never like invested at all. Like, you don't really care what happens to any of the characters. You're like, oh.
So it doesn't tie up any of the loose ends with Jesse?
I mean, it does, but
Yeah.
you can kind of figure out what would have happened to him.
Yeah, not in a way that you're like invested. There's no point in the movie where you're just like, oh, I hope this
Like
happens.
most of the movie centered around that Todd guy.
Yeah. I don't even know why they did that.
With the
Red hair.
the do nothing guy that we didn't care about?
He had like red hair. He was like he shot that kid on the dirt bike. Remember? He was like super nice, but he was like sinister, and he like would just shoot people.
Oh,
Remember?
the evil kid?
Yeah, he helped out with like that train robbery, and then
Yeah, that
that kid like saw it, and Todd just like shot him in the head.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, I thought Todd died in the finale.
And have you been
Must remember
watching?
that. I must have misremembered.
Have you been watching Better Call Saul?
That's actually a great. Wait, hang on a second. That's actually a pretty good point by you. Didn't he die in that like machine gun thing at the end?
Yeah, I thought I might be wrong, but I thought Todd died.
The 10 was an absolute lock, Jay.
I didn't get it in time.
I watched like
What
the
did he go off
first.
at?
I watched the
Oh,
first
1
two
to 2.
seasons of Better Call Saul, but I tailed off toward the
Is
end.
it good? I was the same thing. Like, I enjoyed it, but like, I never really like got to the point where I had to see the next season. And then when one of them came out, I was just like, whatever. I quit following.
Yeah,
it.
like when
Did
Better Call Saul is over, I'll finish it up because it's not like I didn't care about it. I just, in between season 2 and season 3, other stuff came on, and
That's where I got to too. I did 2 seasons.
Did you watch Six Feet Under back in the day?
Yeah, like I never finished. It's one of those other shows. Watched the first couple seasons, didn't finish it, but I liked it for what I watched of it.
I love that show.
But so the funny thing though is the actor who plays what's his name, the fried chicken meth dealer.
Gus
Yeah.
Fring.
Yeah, Gus. He plays the villain that we're going to see in the second season of Mandalorian. So that's kind of exciting for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And he's also Jay watched this show. So Jay might be interested in this too. Season 2 of The Boys, that same actor, he's going to be a pretty good size, have a good, pretty decent sized role in season 2 of The Boys as well.
Jeff, did you start watching that
That's gonna be
fucking
interesting.
that new documentary that dropped, that 7-part series called Tiger King?
No, I heard
Oh,
about it.
here Jay goes again.
You gotta watch it, bro. I'm 3 episodes in. It's definitely worth a watch, I think.
Jay loves gay tiger trainers, that's for sure.
That try to murder people.
You know
Yeah,
what's amazing? Is like how many people who commit murder are just really bad at it.
I'm watching the Mule right now. I didn't finish it last night.
So, do you want to know the surefire way to make sure you don't get caught doing a murder?
Yeah, destroy the body.
No, don't talk to people.
Don't tell
Well, that
anybody.
too, yeah.
Like, so one of my favorite podcasts, I listen to it every week when I'm in my truck, is called Small Town Murder.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. Ant. That's a great call for an interesting podcast.
Yeah. So, but seriously, so every episode they go over this.
That's right
murder
down
thing.
your alley, Jeff. Right down your alley, bro.
Yeah.
I'm more of like, I mean, I have to check it out.
Yeah. Every episode of the podcast, though, it's about all the episodes are like 2.5 hours long, and they just break down the story of this murder that happens in this small town. And 50% of the time, the reason why these people wind up going to prison for the murder is because, they'll sit down in the police station and the cops go, all right, we think you might have done it. And the person's like, well, I didn't commit anything, but let me tell you how I murdered him.
Yeah, but they picked some wacky. They picked some crazy murder stories, man.
Oh my God, it's the best. I love that podcast. It's my favorite podcast because on Friday mornings, the drive out to my territory, it's a just over 2 hour drive to where I got to go every Friday, and the podcast is exactly about like 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 30 minutes. Time I leave to the time I get to my first location. It's just over 2 hours. So I can listen to the entire podcast on the way out there. So I listen to the new episodes drop every Thursday. So I listen to them Friday morning. And so the timing, it's a perfect commute podcast to listen to. And it's hilarious because, it's done by two comedians. So it's not like one of those boring ass true crime podcasts where they're like, and when they discovered the body, there was blood trails. No, it's the two comedians do the podcast. It's a little more entertaining than that. But yeah, but every time it's like, we found the body, and the guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I totally killed him, and here's how. Let me give you all the details. And then they are trying to fight to suppress their confession later on, with their fucking podunk town, small town civil defense attorney, what do you call those guys? I'm blinking.
Ambulance chaser.
Public defender. Yeah, they get like the public defender in there, like, is there a way we can suppress like literally everything my client just said? I think I want to suppress all of that. And they're like, actually, they can't. We kind of read the Miranda rights. Like, did you really read the Miranda rights? Because I really want to suppress his entire confession.
I took a shot with the two at Muswell Brook in Australia.
You took a shot with a 35-1?
Yeah, I bet 10 win in place. I took a shot at him.
Shit, I'll ride with you on that. What did you? You're getting cocky because you hit that one last night.
Well, I mean, I just took a shot. It's $10. I mean, $20.
Yeah, I'm playing that. Oh, Jay, I meant to tell you, I hit another pick four in the late pick fours.
How much did it pay?
I want to say like under $100. It was shit.
Zifterbrooks had a beautiful run, 2 lengths away, camped on the 2 leaders. Gold Luna getting up on the fence, then came Sea of Flame. Splendiferous under pressure. Next shoot for the Star, perhaps D-Day, and El Sahara's going up along the inside. 300 to go. PD a narrow leader on Maydown last, but here's Zifterbrook. Zifterbrook sprinting quickly, went straight past the 2 leaders and dashed for home. She opens up 3 lengths quickly, and she charges away. Zifterbrook a big winner. Won it by 3.5 PD. Third side, that's El Sahara, Maydown last, or Sea of Flames wide out, then Gold Loop.
You saved.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did he even get on the board?
I think you ran 4th.
All right, Charlestown coming up. Los Alamitos coming up.
Yeah, Los Al. I like Los Al at night.
Yo, Anthony. Last night, Jay and I were betting horses. There was a horse called Too Many Coronas. We just blind bet it.
Get the fuck out of here.
We had to.
Too many Coronas.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Speaking of that, I'm going to get a mug's empty.
So what's going on over there, Spread?
Not much. This is just kind of like a little break for me because I've been just playing a ton of online poker. I'll probably, when we're done here, I think Ice Rose is bringing me over some dinner right now. So,
How'd you make out? How'd you make out playing poker today?
I played for like 8 hours and I was up $50. But the one thing about poker is like I just can't jump in for my normal like stakes that I do on NBA because each level you go up, the people are better, you know. So I got to stick around kind of at the 25-50 cent level right now.
I was playing last night.
Yeah. But
Jeff, did you bet the Oklahoma Derby?
You mean the LA Derby or Louisiana?
No, Oklahoma Derby right now at Remington Park. It's a $235,000 race.
That's not showing up on TVG.
Yeah, it's the 7th race at Remington.
Yeah, I didn't get it in. It already started.
Did it? No, it didn't start. I'm watching it right now.
I'm seeing it's closed. But no,
Yeah, they're slowly walking towards the gate. So what are you playing? 25, 50 cents spread?
yeah, $50 buy-in. So
You know where I used to clean up in online poker? Those 8-seat sit and goes.
Yeah,
for
I
like
was doing those at
$100.
first too. I was doing the sit and goes at first too, but I decided to switch back to the cash so I could just jump in and out. You know, like as soon as I get tired, because you know, it's you know, as soon as you get tired, you know, and you just lose a little bit of your edge, it's not good. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I keep doing well, I'll probably jump up a bit more because I know there's a bunch of casual players on there right now, like in the you know, with all the quarantine. So it's actually pretty fun, you know. But I'll be interested to see once it ends, like if the casual players will keep playing and there'll be like another little boom, or if everyone will just go right back to sports and it'll go back to being pretty tough to play.
Right now, we know who's half of the teams in the Sweet 16.
What do you mean?
Like it would today we'd have one.
Oh,
more.
yeah. I understand what you're saying, yeah.
When we look back in history, will this be probably like the worst 2 or 3 months of anyone's life? Like, will anyone have a topper to this? Because I'm not sure I would.
What do you mean in terms of like surreal?
Hopefully, right?
In terms of like
nothing worse
your
happens.
entire life, like, because look, eventually this will end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like if this was after the tournament, I wouldn't be as like annoyed. But like if this was just baseball was off, I'd be like, well, all right. But we literally didn't get the tournament because of this.
Yeah. Do you think the NBA will just go through and just switch their schedule like they've been talking about and run from December 25th to August now?
That's an interesting question. I don't know.
I actually think that would be better, right? Because then I could just handicap football, and then like Christmas is usually what, week 16, and we have 1 week left, and then it's down to only handicapping 4 games a weekend. That would be, for me personally, it would be awesome as someone who caps both NFL and NBA.
Yeah.
So it would be bad for baseball though, because then they would have no time where they're unopposed.
There's gonna be no baseball if we hit July,
Right.
and it hasn't started.
But I'm just saying, if the NBA permanently switched to a December to August, there would be no time where baseball wasn't going against the NBA or the NFL. That would be tough for them. Like if the NBA playoffs were going on during the All-Star break, I mean, it would just be terrible. For baseball, that is. Is that one of the shot collar dogs, Ant?
Can you believe this little sweet, little passionate nugget of joy here is going to have a shot collar put on him next week? Oh, little baby boy. Look how cute he is. Can you put a shot collar on that?
Yeah.
What? Look how cute. Oh, he's such an adorable little baby boy. Yes, he is. Look at him. So precious. See how he snuzzles up, gets all that love, gets all that affection. And you would just put a shot collar on this,
What's
Jay?
the name of that little one?
This one's Miko.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yep. And this one back here is Jambi. And in case you're wondering, yes, Jambi is named after the Tool song.
Not after Jason Giambi?
Nope, he's named Jambi after the Tool song, track number 2 off the 10,000 Day album's 2006 release.
Aaron said, "You can't shock that little guy." Oh, if he doesn't shut the fuck up, you can.
Well, Jay, that's because you're a piece of shit. I mean, let's just be honest. You laugh about how your pit bull assaulted a fucking German Shepherd.
I didn't laugh, bro. I was concerned that the cops were going to come until I realized it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I mean, But look at this little baby boy. He's so cute. He'd be your pit bull's best friend. Hey.
Sonic's Dan asking about Bitcoin withdrawals from your sports book. Yeah, because basically the second it hits your Coinbase or your Cash App or whatever wallet you're using, you can just transfer it straight to your bank account. So,
yeah. How about that,
you can get it out at the same price.
Hey, Greg, have you looked at your stock portfolios at all?
Yeah, I mean, everything's heading down. But, I mean, honestly, I think it's going to shoot back up as soon as everything's over. I mean, the buyback is going to be huge.
Don't you think it's getting worse, though, before it gets better?
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't looked because I'm scared to look. I just look at it like this, okay? I've been, investing since 2004, 2005. I mean, and when I started, the stock market was, half of what it is now. So I just try and look at it like I'm just giving back some of the gains, and then it's going to bounce back, right?
It's going to bounce back,
yeah. In 2012, it was like at what, 12,000, 15,000? I mean, it was at 20 whatever thousand. Now it's down to 19,000. So I just kind of look at it like that.
I think you should buy Bitcoin Amp before the halving in May.
You think it's going to halve?
It is. It did it. It's done it 3 times. Well, twice in 2012, 2016, and it's going to do it.
Or it's going to halve again because it halved last week.
No,
it
bro.
From like 8K to 4K.
I'm talking about the supply. When you mine Bitcoin, Like
Yeah.
it's going to go from 12 and a half, I think, to 6.25. It happened in 2012 and Bitcoin went up 8,000%. It happened in 2016. Bitcoin went up 2,000%, and it's going to happen in May. So they expect over the next 12 months from a lot of the forecasts. That's one thing I've been doing since no sports, reading all the information I can about Bitcoin, and they expect it to go up towards 20,000 in the next 12 months because of this halving in May. They think it's got a great shot, and that would only be what? That would be 350% increase from what it is right now.
Yeah, roll right now it's about 6,500.
Yeah, 6240.
So, I mean, it was at like 4,000 last week. It went from like over $8,000 to $4,000, and now it's bounced back a bit. I mean, it's still down 2,000 from where it was last week, but it's gotten some of that back, so that's good.
Lotus Scalper says buy Bitcoin now. My estimate is 26K by 2021. Yeah, I'm in, bro. I'm getting in before this halving in May. 100%.
Hey, how long are you guys hanging out for tonight?
I don't know, a little while. Why? What's up?
I'm going to jump off and grab some dinner. Ice Rose just got here, so I'm going to go have some dinner with her. I'll check and see if you guys are still on.
All
All
right.
right.
Cool. And if not, when are we doing this again?
I don't know, maybe Monday.
Okay, cool.
Should I
Sounds
watch
good.
that? Should I watch that show before we do this again?
All right, guys. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, man.
Should I watch the Tiger Trainer show before we do this again?
I'm going to. I'm only on episode 3.
We could do a 3-hour-long breakdown of everything we enjoyed about it. What? I mean, haven't you ever seen some of those podcasts that they do an hour-long discussion on all the intricacies of a movie and shit?
Oh, yeah. Barstool used to have one dedicated to Game of Thrones, like every episode.
You and I could have done one dedicated to Game of Thrones. We were such Game of Thrones nerds back in the day.
That's true.
I mean, we could still do one on Game of Thrones. We could rewatch the entire show other than the last 3 seasons.
I thought about doing that the other night. I was like, maybe I should start rewatching Game of Thrones.
I mean, I've seen every episode of the first 3 seasons at least 5 times.
I think you got to watch The Sopranos, Ant. That's what I think you got to
Do I
do.
really? I mean, it's been a while. I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't have to.
I mean, it's just like the first or second greatest show ever.
Hey, do you like Blood and Guts?
I don't mind it.
What? Oh, I just farted. You should watch Castlevania on Netflix. Are you a nerd?
Castlevania on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'll
kind of
check it out.
nerdy, but I mean, it's about like Dracula and but there's lots of killing and blood. I don't know. I liked it. I've seen all 3 seasons. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed them so far. It's an easy thing to watch too because the episodes are like 25 minutes long. And the first season, I wouldn't even call it a season. Like the first 2 seasons are basically the first season, because like when Netflix first ordered the show, they ordered it like they kind of dipped their toe in the waters, basically. So they only ordered 4 episodes. So the first season is basically like a movie leading into the second season. So basically, the first season and second season are just one season because 4 episodes. That's not a season of a TV show. It was 2 hours long. So
Yeah. I watched
so it's a quick watch, but
season of The Stranger on Netflix last week. Pretty good. Not bad.
The Stranger, what's that about?
It's about a chick that exploits people's secrets, sometimes for money. It's pretty good. It's okay. You have to watch Ozark though. If there's one thing on Netflix that has to be watched, it's Ozark. Especially season 3 is going to hit at the end of this month.
Okay.
I would say you got to watch that. Fuck the Tiger Trainer. Put that on the back burner. You gotta start watching Ozark.
Is Ozarks about meth heads in Missouri?
No.
Why is it called Ozarks? Because that's totally
I
what
don't know.
like,
Kind of
Ozarks would be.
is. I mean, half the people are on meth. Like that family that like lives in those trailers. They do. A lot.
Yeah, like cause
they're on meth. That's true.
like because Jay, you got to understand, I'm from that kind of part of the country, and like the Lake of the Ozarks is kind of a tourist destination around here, but like the actual like outskirts of the Ozarks area is like white trailer trash, like outside of those lakes. So when you say Ozarks, I'm just thinking, all right, either you're talking about a lakefront resort in Missouri, or you're talking about a bunch of methed out white trailers.
Yeah, I'm a big Jason Bateman guy.
So it is about methed out white trailer trash. That's what Jeff's basically saying.
It's
not really
money laundering, really.
There's a couple
Money
people.
laundering. Oh, something you need to learn to do correctly. Wink, wink. I mean, not learn to do. All right. Well, actually, we'll talk about that later. Anyway,
You gotta watch it.
Ozarks. All right, I'll consider watching it.
The only person I've ever heard that said they didn't like it was Nick.
Oh, that's probably good.
Nick, I don't know how you don't like that show, bro.
I mean, did you see the Spelling Bee movie with Jason Bateman in it?
Oh, it's so good, bro.
Isn't
Those gave me some of the best hearty belly laughs watching a movie. When he starts telling those 8-year-old kids to go fuck themselves, I'm on the floor just rolling.
What was that movie called again?
I'm not sure. I watched it again actually not too long ago.
I watched it once like 5 years ago.
So
But I
funny.
remember it was it was like hilarious. Oh my god. But man, it's such a good movie.
I'd love to see those fuckers' faces. Some of these shitheads that are out on like beaches and shit. When they look out their window and they see fucking army people walking down the street.
Yeah, fuck those kids. Hey, do you think though? I have a pretty interesting theory on this, Jeff. Do you think I'm accurate on this? That the coronavirus was really just kind of a big old conspiracy to put a halt to the greatest season in Creighton basketball history?
No, but I do think it was a weapon by China.
I mean, so you're not buying that whole someone ate a bat bullshit?
No.
Yeah, bats are too cute to eat anyways.
I mean, I think they definitely eat bats, but I don't think that was.
I got a guy from work who's a professional bat handler, and he has 2 pet bats. And he'll like post pictures of them on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, those things are cute as fuck.
A professional bat handler?
Yeah, like he's a licensed bat handler. So like say you're like, oh shit, I got a bat in the attic. He's the guy you call. So like he'll like remove bats from your attic and shit like that. But he has like 2 of them as pets. Like he has an enclosure that he keeps them in. And like he'll take like pictures of them and they're like they cuddle up on him and like he treats them like fucking dogs, man. Like they're like, because bats turns out bats are like really social creatures. So if they bond, you can bond with them and they'll love you. And then he's got 2 of them and they're like best friends. So they bond with each other. Then they bond with him and whatever. They're just like a normal pet. The only problem with them is, you can't house train them. So, they'll piss and shit everywhere. So you have to have like a little separate enclosure that you keep them in. So that way you don't have bat shit all over your house. But yeah, it turns out they're like super cuddly. And I see the pictures of them and they're fucking adorable, man. Like I would, if you
And
can house train them.
You can probably get the best price that you've been able to get all year on Trump to win the presidency right now.
I don't know if I want to bet it. Dude, if there was no virus, right? I'll be honest with you. If there was absolutely no virus, I would bet a lot on Trump to win the presidency.
You should bet on a lot of it now. He's not going to lose.
But
He's going to give all these people money, and they're all going to be happy, and they'll vote for him.
it may be.
Most
but,
of America is very stupid and gullible.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the price
yeah.
on Biden was really big.
Biden's done. They're both done. Trump's going to win because all these people that don't have any money or not a ton of money, they're going to get a nice check once or twice from Trump. And around when this is all over, he's going to start doing his meetups again or whatever they call them. And,
what can you get on it right now? Better than plus 120?
I'm trying to figure out why people, because like when you hear people talk about like who they're voting for president, they go like the thing that's more important than anything else is not policy or anything like that. It's like, oh, electability because we got to beat Trump, right? But I'm like, have any of you actually paid attention to Joe Biden? Like, what the fuck makes you think this guy's electable?
I can't believe Bernie got beat. I can't believe Bernie's done.
Biden cannot even string together a sentence, Jason.
I would have been happy to give you that $100, bro.
Yeah, now I gotta fucking pay you that $100 amortized over 20 weeks.
You better settle the fuck down.
What?
Sonic 10 said bookmaker has Trump at plus 110 2 weeks ago. Wow, that's a really good price.
I would take him at plus 110. The problem though is this virus has thrown such a monkey wrench into how we have to try and handicap this. Because here's the thing, like my opinion, and I actually think my opinion's correct because my opinion of Donald Trump hasn't changed since, 20 years ago. Like people who love Trump now, you thought he was a moron back in 2003, right? Well, my opinion of him is still the same as it was in 2003. I'm sorry, but
he's always been really popular, though. I mean, that Apprentice show.
No, he was popular in the sense that like people were like, "Oh, I like to see him go. Oh, you're fired," but like no one in like 2003, 2004, 2005 were like, "Oh, hot diggity dang, that Donald Trump sure is the guy we need in the White House." Everyone knew he was a moron. It's just like all of a sudden he ran for president, said build a wall, and people fell in line. But anywho, I think the guy's a fucking idiot. And he's going to fuck up this coronavirus thing somehow. And I don't know. I still think he should be the favorite to win the presidency. Because I think as incompetent as Donald Trump is, the Democratic National Committee is even more incompetent. I mean, Joe fucking Biden is their pick. Like they all could have just rallied around like, I don't know, like Kamala Harris or something. Like they let that bitch drop out back in fucking December.
She'll be the nominee, the vice president nominee for Biden.
She might. Yeah.
If I could bet money on that, bro, I would bet money on that right now.
Well, the thing is like it's always been corrupt. Like they've always been kind of corrupt. But this is like these last two election cycles is the first time there was a contrast because Bernie Sanders is such a huge contrast to anyone else. Like,
do you have
before
5 times for that for vice presidential?
I can look. Hold on, let me open up a tab and put 5 dimes back up again.
She checked. She's a moderate. She's black, and she's a woman. 100%, either her or Stacey Adams will be that vice presidential nominee.
That's another one I don't get. When the fuck did Stacey Adams become such a hot commodity?
Abrams, I'm sorry. Abrams.
Yeah, Abrams.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, when the fuck did Stacey Abrams become such a hot commodity? Hey, some random state assembly member from Georgia who lost the gubernatorial election is now like the hottest thing in Democratic politics. I mean, whose dick in the DNC does she suck over and over again to get this much fucking pub?
You know who else is a star on the rise? That governor in Michigan that gave the Democratic response.
Yo,
to
listen
the
to
State
this.
of the
Listen to
Union.
Jay, you didn't answer the question though. That wasn't rhetorical. You were. Free
I
to
don't
answer
know.
it.
I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Yo, listen to this.
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism, and the same with NBC and Comcast. I don't call it Comcast. I call it Comcast. Let me just say something. That's really bad reporting. You've seen the numbers. You've spoken to average Americans who are former governor.
Okay, Jay. I got those numbers up for you. Let me give you.
What do you got?
Hold on, no. Let me give you the ones that are free money. Do you want free money? Do you want to lay a big number?
1750 on Biden to be the nominee.
No. Do you want to bet? Do you want to lay a big number for free money?
I mean, bigger than 1750? No, I don't.
So you don't want to lay minus 4,500?
No. On what?
The field against Michelle Obama to be the vice presidential pick? That's free money.
Yeah, but I mean, 5Gs, bro.
4,500. So theoretically, if you theoretically had 40 grand in your bankroll, you can win $1,000, right?
Well, what do you got for Kamala Harris?
All right, that's a little bit more reasonable. Plus 170, and the field is minus a couple bucks. But I'll tell you,
is she the favorite?
She is the favorite.
I
At
told
plus
you.
170, she's the favorite. But here's the one that I would actually bet. All right, and I would bet the field against this one because he's not going to pick this one. Amy Klobuchar is plus 250, but the field against Amy Klobuchar to be the vice presidential candidate is minus 300. And I think minus 300 on the field is free money against Amy Klobuchar.
Man, if she was not white, I think she would be the pick.
She doesn't bring it, because here's the thing, right? So everybody would be like, oh, well, Amy Klobuchar is a moderate, blah, 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 blah. Your vice presidential pick is the person that the president picks to balance them out. All right. So, for example, John McCain, old crotchety white guy. He needed someone young and fresh and vibrant. They pulled fucking Sarah Palin out their ass, right? You go to the VP pick for what's his bucket? Barack Obama. All right. So I'm going to let this. Now the thing is the African American population has overwhelmingly supported Joe Biden in this in this presidential primary, and the main reason why is because Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president. But someone failed in giving them the memo that Joe Biden was picked as Barack Obama's vice presidential candidate because Joe Biden has had a long, shaky history with race, voting rights, etc., etc. Because Joe Biden was the crotchety, old, moderate, conservative Democrat with the shaky history of civil rights that made voting for Obama more palatable for white baby boomer males.
Jeff, did you just hit the pick 3?
So,
yeah.
So, let me circle that back around to Amy Klobuchar, Jay. Amy Klobuchar is just a white. Well, she is white. She's a female, younger version of Joe Biden, which basically means she doesn't bring anything to the ticket. She's not getting the fucking.
I might send you money to bet on Kamala Harris at plus 170. What is Trump to win the presidency?
Let me look. Yeah, so that was just a really long explanation of why Amy Klobuchar would be a terrible vice presidential pick, because she's not opposite Joe Biden. She's literally just Joe Biden, but female and 35 years younger.
Yeah, Sonic Stan. I was just talking about the chick from Michigan. I think she's
Joe Biden's even money.
Young.
Who's
I think
the chick from
she
Michigan
will,
again? What's her name?
Gretchen Whitmore. I think that she will have her time where she'll be a serious.
She's not on 5 Dimes.
Yeah, I just think she's too young.
Why is Tammy Duckworth on here? I haven't heard her floated around.
What is Abrams?
Oh, Abrams is the third favorite. She's plus 475, and then minus.
I don't think you can go wrong if you bet both of them. If you take her and Kamala Harris, I think you cash.
Yeah, I understand the Kamala Harris one, and I know Stacey Abrams has got a lot of pub. I just don't know. Well, actually, I guess I do know why Stacey Abrams has so much pub, because she's a moderate corporatist Democrat
that literally almost won Georgia.
Who's a woman in black. And so they're basically like,
so close.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, we have another Joe Biden, but she's
what about the guy from Florida, Ant? That was the mayor in Jacksonville, the black guy, and then he lost the Senate race.
Who's that?
Oh, I can't think of.
Is his name Cortez Masto? Because that's someone who's on here.
No, who else is on there?
No, it's. So I'll just run down who I actually have on 5 Dimes. So 5 Dimes has Kamala Harris as the favorite for VP.
Yeah.
And then it goes Amy Klobuchar, Stacey Abrams, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, Michelle Obama, Tammy Baldwin, who I can't place who that is.
Oh, you know why? Because Biden went on the record and said it will be a woman. That's why they're all chicks.
Oh, yeah. All these are women. I didn't think of that until
went on the record. Yep. He went on the record and said that it'll be a woman. Yeah. I might send you money to bet Kamala Harris. And what is the
do you want to bet a minus 1250? Because it really is free money.
Who?
Nina Turner. You could bet the field against Nina Turner to be the VP pick. How is Nina Turner going to be the VP pick when she's like the surrogate for Bernie Sanders, who's talking nothing but shit about Joe Biden for like the last 6 months? But she's on here at minus 1250. She's plus 50,000, but she's plus 5,000, but she's
Sonic Stat. We are the least racist people on earth. Anthony's married to a black dude, bro. And I love it. I hate everybody equally. So, and what are the odds for?
You said we're the least racist people, or what?
Yeah. What are the odds for Trump to win the presidency on 5 Dimes?
Oh, Trump to win presidency. Even money.
Man, I think that's a bargain.
Trump to win the presidency is not even money. Joe Biden is even money.
What is Trump?
It doesn't have Trump. It has Joe Biden is even money, and then the field is minus 120.
Oh man.
Oh, here's one. I got my eye on this one. This is a bet I could do. All right. U.S. presidential election, right? Electoral votes winner. I could bet on the Republican or the Democrat to win certain states. Obviously, these are all quote unquote swing states, right? Jay. Florida, buddy. Florida. The Republican nominee wins Florida minus 160.
I like that. Trump's big in Florida.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, can you bet that for me with that $100, or are you gonna make me send you $100?
Are you gonna what the $100 I theoretically will owe you?
Yeah,
You want me to just bet it for you?
on Kamala Harris to be the VP nominee.
I guess I could just bet it for you because, I mean, I was literally as a joke, and I thought it was just going to make great content. I was literally going to just make $5 payment.
$100. Don't do it. Don't make me send you $100
No,
when you are $100.
I'll make the. I'll go ahead and do it. I just say it's going to ruin.
I don't think I've ever had a bet where I'd be happy to lose. But if that fucking Bernie would have been the nominee, bro, I would have handed that 100 over with a smile on my face.
Yeah, I know. But the funny thing is like I was literally because I thought it was going to make great content for the show because it was literally going to just piss you off. I was going to pay you that bet out in $5 increments once a month over the next year and a half.
That would have made me so annoyed.
I know that would have been the whole point. I thought it was hilarious.
That would have been authentic content. I'll tell you that.
Yo, I was watching this thing on YouTube. Do you guys know who John Tyler is?
No.
He's the 10th president of the United States. He was the 10th.
I was about to say, like, the name sounds familiar, but it's a very common sounding name. So I wasn't
CBS,
sure.
like a few months ago, did this thing on this guy. He's still alive. His grandson is still alive.
Hold on. The 10th president of the United States grandson is still alive?
Yep. He was born in 1928. I guess because I'm trying to listen to it, but I'm trying to understand how it makes any sense.
Wait a minute. How is that possible?
Hold on a second.
What year was the 10th president, Ant?
I'm going to look it up now. Like, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. That was the Civil War.
How old's the grandson? 180?
How is your... All right, John Tyler, 10th president of the United States, born 1790, died.
Listen, I know how.
1862.
The John Tyler married some 22-year-old when he was like 50. They had this guy's dad when he was like
Julia Gardner Tyler, married to her 1844 to 1862.
Yep. And then they had this guy's dad, and this guy's dad had a kid when he was like 70 to like a younger woman as well.
It's got a list of his grandchildren. Which one of his grandchildren is still alive?
Lyon or no, this
Lyon
guy's
Gardner Tyler Jr.
Yeah, that's this guy's dad. The guy's name is like Harrison, I think. The guy's dad was 75 when he had him.
President John Tyler, born in 1790, still has 2 living grandsons. Jesus, titty fucking Christ. Hold on, let me read this goddamn article. Tyler dies. He had 15 children and a father son late in life, you think? His living grandchildren weren't born until the 1920s.
I took a shot. They're at the gate at Charlestown. I bet the one at 10-1.
Yeah, I have a big 3. They're renegade.
All right, Lyon Gardner Tyler Jr. was born in 1924, and Harrison Ruffin Tyler was born in 1928. They are sons of Lyon Gardner Tyler Sr., one of the president's 15 children.
Yeah, he had him when he was 75, that Lyon guy.
Hold on. Am I following? 75? You're a 75-year-old pumping out kids?
That's nuts. They're renegade. Yeah, I have the 1 in my pick. My pick 3.
Well, let's fucking go, Jeff.
I'm gonna lose money on this pick 3 though. So
Jeff, you gave me the most random fact, and now I'm just fucking amazed, and I just find that fascinating.
Yep.
A dude who died in 1862 has 2 living grandsons who are 100 years old.
Crazy.
My God. All right,
This
so
got
hold on.
shot.
Let's now use this, because think about this for a second, right? This guy died in the 1860s, in the beginning of the 1860s. There was slavery in this country at the time of this dude's death. He has 2 living grandchildren.
Yep.
That's so everybody who wants to act like, slavery's a done deal and we should just forget about it or whatever, it's not that big of a deal anymore. Think about that. There's grandchildren of people who are alive during slavery. There's still some shit going on now that is remnants of what happened back then. You can't just fucking enslave an entire group of people for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years on this continent and then think it all just gets wiped away that fast. It wasn't that long ago, people. You got 2 grandchildren of a dude who was a president when slavery happened that are still alive. That's 2 people's lifetimes ago. It ain't that long.
6 came in?
Yeah.
Damn, that was beautiful. I'm actually going to not lose money.
What did it pay?
$63.
Oh my God.
I was hoping for a big prize. Didn't get one, really.
Sonic's Den won a sticker Robin soccer play.
Dude, that horse is 12-1, Jay. That's 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading some of Sonic Den's comments. Nah, actually, Sonic, your comment is pretty on point, actually. Kamala Harris is not, a lot of people think Kamala Harris would be popular because she would get the black vote, but you are actually correct on that point. Is she's not actually that popular with the African American communities. It's one of the reasons why she had to bow out so quickly in the presidential race, because people were like, nah, I'm good.
I still think that it's going to be her. Although, I don't know, man. Stacey Abrams. I don't know. Stacey Abrams could be that dark horse at +3, whatever.
Yeah. I agree with you that she could be a dark horse. I just don't get why she's such a
yeah, I agree.
commodity at the moment.
I'll be right back.
I mean, you think if you're going to have somebody be the vice presidential candidate for a major party ticket, that they would hold on office at some point higher than state assembly member? I mean, you would think so too, Jeff, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Jay left us.
Man,
Lotus Scalper says Kamala Harris is not popular. I gotta agree with that. She is not that popular.
She'd be interesting to debate Donald Trump, though.
I mean, Kamala Harris is a good debater, but the problem with her is Tulsi Gabbard ended her presidential candidacy in that during that debate, and all Tulsi Gabbard did was point out Kamala's record, which is the opposite of what Democratic voters want in a candidate. Because Kamala's record is, anti-pot. Like, name me a Democrat who's not for legalization of marijuana. They don't exist. Kamala's record, like, the bitch literally wanted to lock up parents because their kids were truant. Like, what the fuck? So it's like Kamala Harris's record as DA in California is spotty at best. She literally had her office recommended charges against Steve Mnuchin's bank for mortgage fraud. And she refused to file the charges as DA of California. And then it turns out there's one Democrat that Steve Mnuchin has personally donated to lots of political campaigns. A lot of political campaigns. but there was only one of those political campaigns was a Democratic political campaign. You got one guess, Jeffrey Nadeau, on the one Democrat that Steve Mnuchin gave campaign funds to. Who was it? Maybe the district attorney of California who refused to file charges against his bank despite the recommendation of her entire office?
Kamala Harris.
Ding, 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 ding. We got a winner. It was Kamala Harris, is the only Democrat that Steve Mnuchin's ever donated a political contribution to, and she just happened to decide not to press charges against his bank, despite the recommendation of all the lawyers in her office saying there's like literally 1,000 different violations that we need to file against this bank for mortgage fraud. That's awfully suspect there, isn't it?
Does anyone believe this website? So there's a website and that has like it tracks all the coronavirus cases. And it's saying that as of today, there's 26,194 people with coronavirus in this state or in this country. 26,130 are in mild condition. 64 are in serious or critical. Is that believable?
I think it's believable for the data they have, but I think it's a lot higher than that because people aren't getting tested.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you're serious, you'd be in the hospital probably.
Yeah. I mean, like, serious people go to the hospital. What it is like a lot of the people, like a lot of the people with the virus have like mild symptoms.
Yeah.
You know, it's I have a cough and fatigue and stuff, and they get over it. But the problem is a lot of the people are dying. I mean, I think they say something like 3% are dying. Like 790 people in Italy died yesterday.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I think the statistics, the data they have is believable as far as that's the data they got. But I think it's more than that because they're just not testing that many people, in comparison to how many people will probably have it. I mean, you and I probably got it and probably don't even know. Like,
I mean, not for nothing. I was saying the other day that about a month ago, I had the exact symptoms for like 3 or 4 days, and they just went away.
Yeah, like I don't feel sick at all, but I've had a slightly sore throat for like 3.5, 4 weeks now. That's it. Like, that's probably not the coronavirus. We are leading into out. Here's the other thing too.
That ain't coronavirus, man. You would have. It don't last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too. It's allergy season.
Yeah, I started taking my Zyrtec. I notice if I don't take it at the same time, I start to like have some sniffles. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know what they're allergic to. I got tested like a couple years ago to see what I'm allergic to, and I found out that tree pollen was. Was my thing. And tree pollen is real bad. Like, it's not real bad, but it's bad for like, it usually doesn't get going until like April.
Oh, dude, April, I'm fucked up. Allergies fuck me up like nobody's business. I am terrible during like April season. I got tissues, everything like that. So that's one thing that's going to annoy me is because I'm going to have a sore, scratchy throat, constant sneezing, eyes, aches, congestion, all that shit. And I'm going to be like walking around coming a few weeks from now, whether I take my Zyrtec or not, because I do, I take the allergy meds. But people are going to be like, oh, you're sick. And I'm going to be like, well, I don't know if I need to take my Zyrtec or call the CDC, because who the fuck knows? Because it's like, this shit happens to me every April. So is allergies going to mask coronavirus symptoms? I mean, I don't fucking know.
Right.
I mean, they claim that 50% or higher of the population is eventually going to catch the coronavirus at some point. So who the hell knows? Jay probably won't get it though. Jay hasn't left his house since 2017. Isn't that right, Jason?
I've been leaving the house more than normal.
Sonic Dins is making some points though in the chat, Jay, that I kind of agree with him on. Is like Kamala Harris really isn't that popular even with her constituents, and that's a dead weight pick for VP.
What is Elizabeth Warren?
She was a big underdog. I already closed out my 5 9s.
Don't you think that balances him out and gets some of that Bernie vote?
From passive Bernie supporters, maybe, but most Bernie supporters hate Warren right now. I personally don't even know if I'm going to vote this year because I'm not voting for Biden and I'm not voting for Trump. So I don't know. This is going to be another year where I vote a third party. I mean, I voted third party last go around. I'll probably vote third party again. I mean, I've got to like see what the third party candidates have to say if I like them or not. Because if I wind up not liking anybody who's running for president, then I'll just leave that blank. And
That's pretty crazy. Australia has 1,072 cases of coronavirus, and they haven't postponed anything. We had like 20 cases and postponed everything.
Well, the difference between the difference between the entire world and Australia is Australia is the size of the continental United States, and Australia has the population of the Los Angeles metropolitan area.
Also, another thing, how does the Vatican, they have one case? How do they only have one case? That's crazy.
The Vatican only has like 100 people.
Yeah, but you would think like with like it's basically in Italy. So like I would feel like,
it's how maybe as soon as it started coming a thing, they just had those guards at the Vatican like stabbing anybody who tried to enter. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Did you hear what North Korea did?
North Korea. Oh, yeah, that country still exists. Like, what did they do?
They found out someone had it and just shot him in the head. That's what I heard.
That would not surprise me, though. Is it bad that, like, even if that story's fake, I'd still find it believable?
By the way, this is kind of interesting. Do you guys find it interesting that most countries in the southern hemisphere have like very limited cases of coronavirus?
Yes and no, because most third world countries are in the southern hemisphere, so they probably aren't even testing for it.
Right. But like, for instance, like Antigua, they have one case. They're not in Africa.
No, I mean, it's like, when you think of like what is a third world country, most of them are in, I don't know, like Australia and, like South Africa and, some South American countries aren't really what you consider third world, but like a lot of the third world countries are in the southern hemisphere, so I wouldn't know. But the Australia one's kind of an interesting point, but it's just like, when you just think about how not densely populated Australia is, like it is baffling. Like you put Australia over the United States. It's literally like the same size of the United States, but it's got like 20 million people.
Still, though, almost exclusively, every country that has more than like 500 cases is in the northern hemisphere.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's more.
Like
a lot of that is either it has to do with testing because you could always have people who aren't tested, and then I think a lot of that might just be population density.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dealing like the population density in the northern hemisphere is way higher than the population density in the southern hemisphere. I mean, you got an entire. Like, just think about it. Like, New Zealand and England are basically the same size. England's got over 50 million people.
Yeah, right.
Yet New Zealand has like 3 million people.
Like I heard today, though, like Jordan, the country of Jordan, like they already put people on lockdown, and they only have 100 cases. They just obviously don't want it to grow.
Yeah.
So I guess I understand why we did it here.
Yeah, I honestly don't think the lockdown is extensive enough here right now. I think it's going to get complete. It's going to get way worse. We can have an Italy situation before we know it. It's such a half-ass lockdown. When you got all those fucking losers sitting
Still,
on a goddamn
though,
beach.
Think about this, though. So you do have those people. Okay, there might be 10 beaches nationwide that have that going on. But think of, for most of the country, majority-wise, there's not a lot of people out, man. Like, look at New York, L.A., all these places. Like, are there pockets of people occasionally? Yeah, but a lot of this country is inside. The roads are clear. You know, like I was looking at something earlier. Like, they went through, like, these, like, big landmark areas. There's no one around. Like, New York is dead. Like, again, I you notice how the media only finds those places? Like, look at all the other places. They're, you know, for the most part, pretty open. You can't make not every person's going to comply, but like if, you know, large majorities of them do.
Yeah, I guess we could all take some solace in the fact that the people who aren't complying, maybe they'll get the virus and die, and it'll just be karma, right? Like, here's the thing: like, I'm not even visiting my mom right now.
Yeah, I try to stay in as much as I can. I mean, I did see my parents today, but we just had dinner at their house, and I was, you know, I didn't hug them or anything like that, or.
Yeah, like my mom lives with my sister and my sister's husband and the kids and stuff. And you know, my sister's husband, he's on quarantine from his job, and obviously the kids are home from school on quarantine. My mom's old as fuck. I mean, she's 67, so she doesn't work, so she's been around. But I'm like, I come in contact with people every day. Like if I go visit my mom, like I normally would. You know, I don't, because like I don't have like symptoms, but I don't fucking know if I got the virus and it's just hibernating in me for 10 days until symptoms show. And then who knows? Like this time next week, I could be fucking on my goddamn deathbed. Like no one knows, right? But I'm like, I don't want to you fucking pass that on to my mom because she's in that she's got a compromised immune system with her health problems and she's old.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to kill the bitch. That would make me fucking sad. You know, like I would consider my mom the person I love more than anything else on this planet. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fucking risk her life by visiting her right now. It's
standard bearer of a proud lineage. Victory and glory, all his own.
Jeff, are you muted on purpose or?
I'm on the phone. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't know if you're mute on purpose or not. Sonic says no cases in Maui yet. We all need to just go to Maui then. Gerardo says, welcome to politics, Aunt. Like with Sarah Palin chosen no one to her.
There's one case in Uganda.
Uganda? Oh, there's got to be more than just that one case.
There's one case.
They got it from somebody.
There's one case in Gambia. There's 2 cases in the Isle of Man.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned to
Isle of Man?
Yeah, it's near England.
Ireland and England? Yeah. I saw there was a real sport on the Isle of Man where they do some like motorcycle race or some shit.
Yeah, that's where like you set up like shell companies.
You might want to look into that, Jason.
I'll do that.
Why are you sighing at me, sir?
Hey, Jason, what's your fucking problem?
Nothing.
Yeah, you need to quit looking at trying to find stuff to bet because you ain't gonna find nothing to bet. So just get over it.
Jay, I'm on Australia B right now.
Jesus.
All right, so I'll tell you guys one thing though. Our argument the other week, because I'm just going to completely change the subject, and And so let's just talk about this for a minute. So remember, Jeff, when you told me that I had a terrible take on Stained, right?
Yeah.
So I think I tweeted at you a music video of theirs of a song of theirs I actually did enjoy, Mud Shovel off of their first album.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started going down like a new metal rabbit hole because I started revisiting like a lot of the bands I listened to as a kid. And I'll tell you what, there's some bands where their music really held up, where I'm like, man, that's still stuff I can listen to and rock out to. And then there's some shit from like the late '90s. Holy fuck! I actually listened to that. That was terrible. So I'm just gonna run down some bands for you guys.
Like
I know
Mudvayne or
Jason
something?
probably listened to more metal.
There's another Corona
Yeah.
horse. Corona by Corona, the two at Remington Park. And for
that's
Anthony
interesting.
being a geek, Jedi Returns is the number one horse.
Jedi Returns. Hey, Jay. So let me ask you this, all right? Do you remember a band back in the day, okay, named Dope?
Named what?
Dope. Do you remember Dope?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah, I remember that name.
All right. So they were one of the bands I started listening to when I went down my new metal rabbit hole because I tweeted at Jeff about Stained because we got that argument about Stained's terrible second album. So I distinctly remember thinking Dope was awesome. And the one of the reasons why I discovered the band Dope was because they were the opening band for my very first ever rock concert as a kid. My very first concert was Static X and Power Man 5000. And Dope was the opening band, and that's how I discovered them. And I'm like, wow, this band's great. So I got their album, I listened to it a bunch. So I revisited it. And I want to go back in time to 1999 and shoot 15-year-old Anthony in the face for ever thinking this terrible fucking band was good. Like, seriously, it is like literally the worst fucking new metal. Well, they fit every category of terrible new metalness, all right? Generic, distorted guitar riffs, terrible rap rocking, and then when the lead singer's not trying to do awful rap rock, he's doing this terrible garden variety Marilyn Manson impersonation. I mean, it was some of the worst fucking shit I heard in my life, and I'm mad at myself
Who was
for
that?
enjoying it. Dope.
Never heard of him.
Oh god, they were a new metal band back in the late '90s, early 2000s that I remember enjoying. But you know who else is terrible? And they're a band that you have heard of, Jeff, and they're a band you have heard of, Jay, because they're still around making music. In fact, their greatest hit came out like 3 years ago because it's a cover of a Simon and Garfunkel song. So you know who I'm talking about right now, don't you, Jay? Disturbed.
I don't.
Disturbed. It did Sound of Silence. Simon and Garfunkel cover.
I didn't think they were that bad.
No, Disturbed's not that bad. I'll tell you what. I've always enjoyed Disturbed. They're one of the groups that comes up on my Pandora a lot. But one thing I realized is awful is their first album. Like that song right there is terrible. Yeah, Disturbed's first album is awful, dude. Especially that song you're playing right now, Down with the Sickness. I mean, is there anything worse than The Break and Down with the Sickness where he starts going into that no mommy, no, you're hurting me tirade? Oh, God. The opening's not that bad. But tell me, when he gets to the break, all right? When they get to the break, where he starts going into the, oh, my mom is fucking abusing me right now, tirade. Are you seriously going to tell me that that's not terrible and cringe?
I mean, just hear me out for a second. I don't
I will.
understand how you can actually say this is a bad song. This song's unbelievable, I think. Like I'm not even kidding.
Which song is this? That's a Stain song, right?
It's Epiphany. Yeah, it's the
This
best
song's
song on the album.
unbelievable. Incredible.
Honestly, I can't tell you if it's a bad song or not because I don't remember it.
His voice is wild.
Look up. Okay, I will give you something from Stain that's good, Jeff. Look up the song "Mud Shovel."
Yeah, that was that was the most famous
I've heard
single on their first album.
Yeah,
It's a great song.
that opening bass line right there.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best song on the album though. I think the first song is the best song on the album. A flat.
Hey, all right. So I've heard "Mud Shovel" a million times. Play A flat. I don't remember that one because it's been a long time since I actually listened to the first album. But I'll tell you what though. So hear me out though. While we're pulling that up, Disturbed's first album is fucking terrible, guys. Now Disturbed as a band, I like a lot of their stuff afterwards.
I never got into them.
I mean, you know, like, which song is this? Is this A flat?
Yeah.
All right. Does it get heavy?
Yeah.
Because their first album was heavy, so.
Yeah, it gets heavy. Yeah.
Yo, Anthony, what do you think of this group? Hold on.
Who is this?
The worst band ever.
Who is that?
I don't enjoy
Worst
it.
fucking
What is
band
that?
ever.
I'm
There's
not
no
like,
idea.
Clown Posse.
oh God! Like I couldn't tell you what they sounded like because I don't think I've ever listened to their music. I just remember like their fans back in the day were like weird.
Yeah, they had like that. They love like Faygo soda.
Yeah. Oh, but you know a band that was out back then. So I'll circle back to the stuff that wasn't shit. Static X.
I never
Like-
listened to them.
Dude, like Static. I listened to like a lot of the. I was listening to some of the stuff from Static X, and they're like one of my favorite bands when I was a kid. But I listen to their shit now, and it still holds up. And I can't say that about a lot of the bands back there. Like I just said, you know, like I revisited Dope. Oh, fucking terrible. I mean, you revisit most of the stuff off Disturbed's first album. Not
What about
just the
this-
singles, but
what
it's
about
fucking
this band?
terrible. But I think Static X is really. I don't
Who is that?
hate or love.
Godsmack?
Yeah, that's Godsmack.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand that band.
Jay hates him.
Damn, really? You don't?
Yeah, I don't. I never got into
Godsmack.
Godsmack.
Godsmack is one of those bands I have no opinion on, positive or negative. They're just there. Like, I'll tell you right now, Godsmack's newer stuff is terrible because, I mean, they were like a hard rock band, and like all their stuff that I've heard from them that they've come out with in the last 5 years has been like, let's just call it pussy shit. And I don't really like it when bands go fucking pussy. There's Limp Bizkit.
Love Limp Bizkit.
The fucking best.
You know, I was never a fan of Limp Bizkit when I was a kid. I always hated them. But when I try re-listening to them now, I don't hate them nearly as much.
They're actually okay.
Their drummer is so tight, bro.
Do you guys listen to like recent bands though? Because I've like discovered some bands that have
I
come
only
out like
listen to
recently,
like older shit. Like I got into like the wormhole of like Limp Bizkit at Woodstock, which is like a complete shit show.
Yeah, especially because it was during the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I never listened to that. But I'll tell you know who I do really like. I think they're probably. Well, there's a couple bands that have come out like the last 10 years that I really enjoy. One is In This Moment. I think they're pretty good.
Who's your favorite band ever?
Oh, Tool.
Really?
Yeah, Tool.
Second favorite band, Nine Inch Nails.
Alice in Chains.
You know who?
1994, Woodstock 94, Nine Inch Nails when they closed the show.
No, it's 99.
Sickest show ever. No, it was 94, Woodstock. 94 was 9 Inch Nails. There was a Woodstock 99.
Yeah,
but
it was
not. Yeah, 9 Inch Nails didn't play.
Break your fucking face tonight.
So you know who's rapidly climbed my all-time favorite band ranks, and I would say is now probably number 2.
What?
Ghost.
Oh, settle the fuck down.
Do you guys listen to? You guys don't listen to like techno.
And then after Ghost, it would definitely be Rammstein.
Do you listen to techno at all or anything?
No, Jay. What the fuck is up with that, Jay?
What?
Well, the look on your face when I said Ghost and then Rammstein.
They're fucking Rammstein
sucks.
Rammstein, I enjoy their music, but not like their songs because I don't understand what the dude is saying. But Ghost is fucking awful, bro.
Have you listened to Ghost? Really?
I listened to 3 songs that you told me to listen to, and it was fucking atrocious.
You know, they're so Loudwire, like one of the biggest metal publications out there, released their top 20 metal songs of the decade, and Ghost is the only band to have 3 songs on that list.
I mean,
including the number one, I don't know what
that's supposed to mean.
The number 1 metal song of the decade is from Ghost.
Yeah, well, metal sucks in 2010 to 2020, bro.
What do you
want me to tell you?
They ranked Rammstein had the number 2 song in Deutschland, but no, they rated the number 1 song Square Hammer. And I'm sorry, but if you can literally tell me that you can listen to Square Hammer, what is that?
What are you listening to right now,
the
Jeff?
greatest singer ever,
Pavarotti.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why don't you want to get put in a fucking bad mood quick? Put on Ghost.
Yeah, I'm about to.
No, put on Square Hammer. If you can literally tell me that Square Hammer is a bad song, go fuck yourself.
He said, "Go fuck yourself."
There's a reason why it's the number 1 metal song of the decade.
Dude, this is fucking awful.
It's the catchiest fucking hook you'll ever listen to, dude.
Come on, man. I mean, we're so simpatico when it comes to Tool.
Hold on. Listen to it.
I mean, how is that your number 2?
No, go back to Square Hammer and listen to that fucking hook.
Hold on.
Oh, well, yeah, that's System of a Down. They're obviously amazing.
This is for you, Anthony. Hold on.
Yeah, Duality. I love Slipknot. I've seen them live 3 times. No, but go back to Square Hammer and tell me how
it's
that is
fucking
not
terrible. No.
Fuck. Dude, that's the number 1 metal song of the decade.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro, but you can't have Tool be your favorite band of all time and then have Ghost come in second.
Fucking Marilyn Manson.
Manson's like early stuff.
Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy? He was in that.
Yeah,
I love Marilyn Manson, bro. Their early stuff, like Antichrist Superstar, is one of the best songs of all time.
Yeah, like Marilyn Manson's Mechanical Animals album was kind of meh because he was just trying to, I don't know, but he has some really good stuff after that too.
Oh man, I loved that.
This is actually a pretty decent song, honestly.
That Antichrist Superstar album was so good, bro.
Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna get you to turn the corner on Ghost eventually. Like, I don't get it.
What do you think of this song?
You listen to the opening of 2 songs of theirs and you poo-poo their entire discography. I don't know what you're playing. I hear two different things. I hear some opera music, and then I'm hearing some metal.
This song is so good, bro.
Our angels deserve to die.
Oh, Toxicity? Or no, wait.
So good, bro.
Angel
Chop
Deserves
Suey.
to Die, Chop Suey. Yeah. Dude, I just... How can you not get into the hook of Square Hammer?
It sucks, dude.
It's fucking
it's the
awful.
Yo,
catchy-
I'll be back in a bit.
Jay, you don't know if it's awful because you never even listened to the damn song. Play the damn song and then tell me afterwards it's not catchy as shit.
I can't do Ghost anymore. I can't. I listened 3 songs front to back, and I just couldn't do
What
it.
is it? What is it about the most popular metal band on the planet right now that you hate? 'Cause
Everything?
You know they selling out stadiums, right? Like they have a concert.
You're
oh, look
telling
at that,
me.
they just
You're
sold out
telling
a
me
fucking
right
arena.
now. You're telling me right now that Ghost would sell out like Madison Square Garden right now?
Yes, they are.
That's incredible.
They're doing a stadium tour right now. Dude, they're
That
the most-
is absolute.
Jay,
incredible.
this is how out of touch you are with the music industry right now. Ghost is the
Why? Because I don't like Ghost.
no.
I'm at it.
The fact that you're unaware of the fact that they are the most popular metal band going right now.
Yeah, music died in like 2003.
No, I don't understand. First of all, you got to just embrace the gimmick.
Like,
And
I'll be
then
honest,
you just got to go with it.
there's no new music.
Oh,
There
I
is
can-
no
in
new
general, I can agree
music
with you
that
on
I
that.
like since like 2007, other than whatever the latest Tool album or Nine Inch Nails album is. Other than that, I just can't even stomach the music of the last decade.
Generally speaking, I agree with you on that. But I like bands like In This Moment. Honestly, In This Moment and Ghost are the only two like rock bands that have come out since 2010 that I've actually gotten into. But I do love In This Moment also. I don't know if you like them at all or not, but
I would have to check them out.
yeah. But man, you got to get into Ghost, man. You got to listen to Square Hammer front to back. That's such a good song. That was the song that got me into them. And that's off their 3rd album. I admit I should not have told you to listen to the song where the chorus is Hail Satan. That was a tough pill to swallow when you first get introduced to them, and I kind of did that as a joke.
Did they really? Can you name me some of the tour dates? I want to know if they're playing arenas.
They've most recently been touring Mexico. Yeah, dude, like you can literally just pull up Ghost concert videos on YouTube. I mean, yeah, they're playing fucking arenas.
It's amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good ass music. You're just a fucking Krabby McCrabby Patty.
Ghost live. Ghost performs Circle on Colbert.
Cerise.
Let's go.
Oh, hold on. Cerise, you mean the song that won the Grammy in 2016 for Best Metal Performance? Oh, is that the Colbert performance?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find a different performance of Cerise. That's a edited version. It's a 6-minute song, and the Colbert performance was like 4 minutes long. They cut it up.
Why is the guy dressed like the fucking devil version of the Pope?
Because that's the character. He's the anti-Pope.
Is that the whole gimmick thing?
Yeah, like the first album is telling the story of them summoning the birth of the Antichrist The second album is the presence of the Antichrist and the coming of the Antichrist on the planet and destroying the world. And the third album is the aftermath of the world once the Antichrist took it over. And then the fourth album is about the Black Plague. It's a gimmick band, dude. I mean, there's like a story. There's a sequential story behind each album, and he changes characters. Like each album has a different character as the lead singer, and that's kind of like how they work. They're a gimmick. I told you before. They're like a gimmick band. You gotta embrace the gimmick of what their gimmick is, and then you kind of like the songs are really good. Cerise, the one that you're about to listen to, is a really good song. It won the Grammy for Best Metal Performance in 2016, but you pulled up a bad performance of Cerise because that Colbert Report one was an edited version where he had them cut it down to like 4 minutes, and the song is actually like 5.5, 6 minutes long.
I thought that said Circle. DX says, I once got free tickets to a Smashing Pumpkins show. When I got there, I was surrounded by goth kids who got the day off from Hot Topic. I didn't know what was happening. And out pops Marilyn Manson. Bro, he's so good. Manson back in the day. You know, Marilyn Manson now is just a fat, lazy fuck. Like he gained almost 100 pounds. At least 100 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but back in the day, like
anymore.
In 1999, when I was in the front row at MSG for the Nine Inch Nails concert, and that was when Manson and Trent Reznor were fighting. They hadn't talked for years because
Manson and Trent Reznor were friends, weren't they? Because they were
because Trent Reznor started Nothing Records. The first band he signed was Marilyn Manson. He discovered them. But then they got into an argument, and they didn't talk for years.
When did they get into the argument? Because Manson was in the Starfuckers video.
Yeah, bro. That
came out in like 2000.
That's when they made up. Because if you listen to the song, Trent Reznor, the song is about Marilyn Manson. They made up. And the encore at MSG in 1999, who comes out? Marilyn Manson to do like Starfuckers, the really big Manson. What was the first huge Manson song?
Beautiful People.
Yeah, The Beautiful People. And one more song. And it was crazy because they hadn't talked for like 3 years. Got into a huge fight when he left Interscope Records and the Nothing label.
Because his first album was the one that had the Sweet Dreams cover on it, but then his biggest single was the Antichrist Superstar album where he had Beautiful People.
Yeah, his first album, the best song on that album was Tourniquet, I think. Probably.
I honestly really didn't listen to that album. The only thing I remember off that album that it had
good, bro.
You know, so here's a hot take, and I don't think it's necessarily a hot take, but I did not like the Mechanical Animals album. I thought it was a try-hard album.
Was that the one with the Dope Show?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that I saw that tour. I went to see him, but I agree that was a pretty bad album.
Yeah, like it was to me. Okay, so with Antichrist Superstar, right? He found his shtick where he's just pissing off the Christians, and that's what made him popular. And can you get that thing off the middle of our faces?
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. Like, I grew up in a very religious household. I found out about Marilyn Manson because my dad told me that I wasn't allowed to listen to him. That's how I figured out who he was. I had no idea who Marilyn Manson was, but my dad was like, "You children are forbidden. Forbidden, I say, to listen to this Marilyn Manson. He's evil, of the devil, and will not have that devil music in my household." That's basically how that went down. So I'm like, who the fuck is Marilyn Manson? And I asked my brother, like, hey, Robert, do you know who Marilyn Manson is? He's like, I don't fucking know.
I think his first album was...
but we listened to the Antichrist Superstar album. It was pretty good. He found his shtick. But
Portrait of an American Family.
Yeah, that was his first one.
Yeah, that I think had like there was a song called like Butterfly Wings or something like that, I think.
Bullet with Butterfly Wings was
Yeah. No.
What I'm telling you though, like, so when you want to dissect the Mechanical Animal album, though, because that was the follow up to Antichrist Superstar, was he got a good niche there with the anti-Christian theme, and he got the Christians mad, and that's how he got popular. But then he started going into that weird. Okay, so you had a song called "The Dope Show," right? All right, dude, that's a little bit on the nose. And then you have
Cake and Sodomy. That's the best song on that album, first album.
But do you agree with me there for a minute? Like The Dope Show, little too on the nose. Pink pops in the music video. He's in like this weird woman suit. It's like, dude, you're trying too much. Then you have the other song on that album. I don't like the drugs, but the drugs like me.
It was catchy.
Well, but it's trying too hard. And the Disposable Teens was a catchy song, but that's because Disposable Teens was a ripoff of Beautiful People. Like, Beautiful People has one of the greatest all-time riffs in any rock song ever. It's so simple, right? Like, it's you listen to the Beautiful People, and you're a musician or a former musician. Like, how simplistic is that guitar riff?
Oh yeah, right. It's very easy.
Yeah, but how catchy and iconic is it though? It's probably the catchiest and one of the most iconic guitar riffs of all time. The opening to the Beautiful People. It's a great song because of that. That's such a catchy riff. But he tried copying that with Disposable Teens. It's like, dude, you're ripping yourself off. Like, he was the pre-Nickelback. When Nickelback started ripping themselves off, later on, they're like, oh, yeah, Marilyn Manson did that, so let's try doing it too. We'll rip ourselves off also. So, yeah, long story short, I did not like the Mechanical Animals album. It's a bad album. But the stuff he did after that, I really enjoyed. The Mistopheles of Los Angeles is a good song. Deep Six is a good song.
Bro, I don't think people realize, like, looking back, how good that Antichrist Superstar album is. Angel with the Scab Wings. That's the song I'm thinking about.
Well, have you listened to the shit that he's done? Because he's still been making albums for the last 20 years.
Yeah, he's still making albums, but they're just not that good.
I find it listenable. I like a lot of that stuff. It's not like heavy like it used to be. Like that, the Antichrist Superstar album was really heavy. It's a little bit more mellow stuff, but it's more of a groovy kind of a music I could get into. Like
even Trent, bro. Last couple albums, man. I mean, like,
dude, they're 40. What do you want from them? You're old too.
Trent's like 55, bro.
Well, here, look at it like this. When everyone goes, oh, gee, the stuff they made doesn't have that biting edge. Well, now that I'm in my mid-30s, I mean, and you're about to be 40 in about another year or two, right?
In like 7 months. Wow.
Yeah. So explain this to me. So for everyone who's 20 and is got all that angst still in them, it doesn't last.
No, you just get too old for the bullshit. That's what happens.
Exactly. So
a lot of times,
exactly. So
you think about something that would make you angry or something, and you're just like, man, I'm too old for this shit. That line in fucking Lethal Weapon, Danny Glover's famous line, I'm getting too old for this shit. I mean, it's so true. You lose that edge.
Yeah, that's why the best albums of any band are always those albums they make when they're in their early 20s. And then, the music they make after that, it's not bad. Like I said, like Marilyn Manson's music that he's come out with in the last 10 years, I've listened to a lot of it. It's not bad. I actually enjoy a lot of it, but none of it is as heavy or angry as Antichrist Superstar was. But I think it works for him, though. I think the Mistopheles of Los Angeles is a great song. I don't know if you've heard it by him or not, but I'd say of all the songs that Marilyn Manson has done in any of the albums that's come out with the last 10 years, that's probably my favorite. And I think Deep Six was a good song too. And
I mean,
they're
I
not as
think that-
heavy and biting as that early stuff of his, but they're still good music.
I think Trent Reznor's like best album was The Fragile, and he was in his early 40s. So I mean, he was in his early 40s.
The music itself is still good, but you just don't have that biting edge to it, you know? Like,
God, that fucking album is amazing, bro.
hey, for example, think about it like this. If a band's been around for 20 years and now they're 40 and they're millionaires, right? How are you going to expect them to come out with an album with all that biting, edgy, angry, bitter, fuck the establishment, rage that they came out with 20 years ago when they're broke? He's got like $25 million in the bank and he's 40. You know, he's middle-aged with a Porsche and a mansion, and you expect him to come up with some music saying, fuck the system, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he went from making the Downward Spiral in the house where Manson killed fucking Sharon Tate to like now he's like married and has like a kid running around. They're all old men now.
Yeah, it happens to all of them. Like, why do you think the Who? I mean, they still tour and they're like 70. They haven't come up with a new song in 35 years.
Some artists make better music as they age, but very few. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't think the music's bad. It just doesn't have that edge that it did earlier because they're not mad at the world. They just, you know.
I totally get now, though, like when we were young, when it was like 1998, 1990, for me, I'm a little older than you. When it was like 1995 to 2004, those 9 years, I would be like, my God, this music is so good. I don't understand why my fucking aunt and uncle are still stuck on like Van Halen and Zeppelin. Like, what are they doing? Now, looking back on it now, musically, I'm still stuck in that decade from 95 to 2004. Like, I will put on Pearl Jam, old Nine Inch Nails, early Tool, before I'll put on anything. Old, like, Stone Temple Pilots, second album, the Purple album, like, all that shit, man. I get it. I totally get it now. Why my aunt is still listening to Van Halen 5150 and she's like 55 years old. I totally get it. I get it. And you know what? Looking back on it, their music is awesome too. Like I'll listen to Van Halen and Zeppelin, all that old shit.
You're right, because I noticed too, like when because my generation of music's the same. I mean, you're only like 4 years older than me. So like that 1995 to 2005 music genre, that was right up my alley. And, you know, I'd be like, I tell like my parents, check this song out. Isn't this great? And my dad and my mom, they'd be like, get that crap off my radio, you know? They're like, what the hell? You know, my mom was like into the Beatles and Elvis, and you know, she liked all that shit because my mom was born in like 1950. Yeah, my mom was born in 1952. You know, she doesn't want some kid, you know, in the late 1990s trying to convince her to listen to the new Static X album.
But I'll tell you, bro, like my aunt though, like she was the youngest sister out of my mom and my mom's sisters, and she was always the cool aunt. So she likes a lot of today's music. Well, when I say today's music, I mean like that decade. Like she's a big Kid Rock fan and shit. But the first concert that I ever went to, it was a Nine Inch Nails concert, and the reason why she went and she took me was because that's when he toured with David Bowie. So she was there to see Bowie. I was there to see Nine Inch Nails. And we just had like a great time.
So I took my nephew to a Korn and Breaking Benjamin concert like last month.
Yeah, I've seen Breaking Benjamin in concert. I told you that I never saw Korn, but I think I saw them at an Ozfest an Ozfest at
All right.
Prudential Center.
Do you want to know how old we are?
I mean, I'm gonna be 40, bro. We're pretty fucking
All right.
old.
So think about this for a second. All right. My nephew is 15. When I told him that I got tickets to see Korn and asked if he wanted to come, he didn't know who they were.
I mean, I get it. For 15 years old, I get that.
Yeah, he had no idea who Korn was. Now, to his credit, since I told him that I was going to the concert and said, "Hey, you want to come with me?" and he said, "Yeah, I'll go." He did start YouTubing them on, so he looked up their videos on YouTube. He started listening to some of their songs, and he thought they were all right. So when we went to the concert, he enjoyed the concert just fine. But the fact that the band that's like one of the most iconic bands of my youth, like the band that spawned and made possible the entire new metal genre of music, like the band that released the most famous album of the mid-90s, like their debut album was one of the most important albums of the 90s. This band that encompassed so much of my youth and my musical tastes and influenced so much of my future musical tastes, my nephew never even fucking heard of.
Yeah.
But he liked them. So, I mean, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit too. I'm like, well, at least he liked them. Once he found out who they were.
Big fan of Ray Luzier.
Oh, you better be a fan of Ray Luzier because David Silvestri, who's their original drummer, like you're right about Ray Luzier because I did go to them when I saw him at the concert. Like he was really good, and when you listen to
good, bro.
And when you listen to Korn's later albums, I don't think as a whole the albums are as good as some of Korn's early stuff. But I mean, it's still good music. But the drumming is definitely superior. Like if you listen to any album that was made with Ray Luzier on it versus any album that Korn did with Dave Silvestri on it, the difference, if you just listen for the drumming, is night and day.
I think he's one of the 5 best drummers that were in rock bands past 1995 of all time. Like Danny Carey would be number 1 on that list, but I think Luzier is like in the top 5. There's nobody that beats Danny Carey, bro. I mean, like technically, I think Carter Buford from the Dave Matthews Band is as good as Danny Carey, but I mean, man, Danny Carey is he's on his own fucking planet.
What do you think of Joey Jordison?
Who is that?
The original drummer for Slipknot.
Oh, he's good. He's good. It's just a different kind of it like their music is so hard. It's not like Tool.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Danny Carey and the guy from the Dave Matthews Band, they composed their drum parts like
you know who
Beethoven and
you know who the guy though who's been drumming for Slipknot for like ever since Joey Jordison left the band, probably like 8 years
yeah, I was watching a video workshop with him the other day.
Yeah. You know he's Max Weinberg's son?
Is he really?
Slipknot's drummer is Max Weinberg's son.
Oh, no kidding. Yep. Max Weinberg, he was good. He was good.
Still is good. The E Street Band? Come on. Yeah, can you believe that? Like Joey Jordison, who's one of the best metal drummers out there, right? Leaves the band and they replace him with the son of Bruce Springsteen's drummer. Like how lucky did
I can play?
Get? Like they had one of the best drummers ever, and then they got the son of one of the best drummers ever. You're like, what the fuck? How that happen?
I can play 100% of the drum beats in the E Street Band's and Springsteen songs. I can probably only play 60% of what Danny Carey does.
Oh, really? That hard?
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. It's so hard. And the time that it's the different time signatures. Like they go from playing like 3-4 to 11-7. It's just the time. It's crazy, bro. He really is. I think he's the best drummer ever.
Well,
think
I'm
he's
not a
better than
musician,
Neil
so
Peart.
like, let's hold that thought for a second, so I could take a wicked piss, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then I'll ask you to get more in depth on that.
What do you mean, Sonic's Den? Any Coop fans? What do you mean, brother? Hey, tomorrow, I mean, I know we only have 13 people watching right now, so nobody really gives a fuck. But tomorrow I'll be back on SBR with Flash and Jeff. See if we can hit another pick 4. Cashed one today for 530. See if we can hit another one. And we'll be back, we'll have good numbers as soon as sports starts. And we're back on the Sports Gag channel. We'll be getting a couple hundred people watching at least. But right now, we're just bullshitting. I mean, what else are you going to do right now? I mean, let's be honest. You could either bet Belarus Premier League soccer or horse racing from Australia. That's where we are right now. Think about what I just said. Belarus Premier League soccer or Australian horse racing. You ever think we'd be there? Fuck me. We got to get NASCAR back after next week.
So I hear people talk about these time signatures all the time. Like, why is it so hard to go from one to another?
It's just it's hard because J.A. Real Trucker, what's up, bro? Be safe on the road, man. It's hard because when you're playing the drums, right? When you're really good, all 4 limbs are doing different things at the same time, right? Both your feet, both your hands. And you get in a rhythm when you're playing regular 1-4 or 3-4 time or 7-8 time. The kind of easier time signatures when you're playing, right? But when you go back and forth, within 8 measures, you're playing 3 different time signatures. It's really hard for your brain to send those signals to all 4 of your limbs, which are doing 4 completely different things at the same time, to switch time signatures in an instant. It's so hard, bro. It takes so many years of practice. 60% is being kind. I could probably do 50% of the shit Danny Carey does, maybe, and I'm pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's hard. But any of the rock that our parents listen to, bro, I could do a lot of the shit that Neil Peart did. I could do everything that fucking Max Weinberg did. Even bands like Pearl Jam. I could do almost everything that the drummer from Pearl Jam has done in a Pearl Jam song. But then you just hit a fucking another level. The Dave Matthews Band drummer is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. So good.
Yeah, so that's I never talked to a drummer before on who are the best drummers in rock and why. So just thinking about it, I would never been oh yeah, the Dave Matthews Band's got the best drummer in rock. That wouldn't have been something I would have thought about.
Type in Carter Buford live drum solo, and the fucking guy will blow your mind for 10 minutes in front of a stadium of 70,000 people. He will blow your fucking mind for 10 minutes straight, where you'll just watch him play the drums, just like when you watch Danny Carey play the drums, and you just recognize that the shit that's going on behind that drum set right now is not the norm. It is on another planet. It's amazing. They're amazing.
Please deliver some truckloads of TP to Southeast Michigan. So, did you know that there's not actually a shortage of toilet paper? It's just everybody bought it all out at once. So now the grocery store's got to wait for the next shipment to come in.
Jimmy Chamberlain was a great drummer, Smashing Pumpkins drummer. Really, really, really good. I agree, Martin. He was great. I could do a lot of stuff that Jimmy did.
Any
there's some
Alice
stuff-
Cooper fans? I like some of Alice Cooper's music, but it's just kind of like fun. Like Poison's a catchy song by Alice Cooper. I like
I
that
never
song.
got. I like somebody else mentioned. I think Alex mentioned AC/DC. I liked AC/DC probably more than Alice Cooper, but I don't know, man. I never got into like Ozzy, or were you ever into any of that kind of like metal?
Yeah.
Like the early stuff.
Yeah, AC/DC is AC/DC's like I liked them after Bon Scott died. Does that make sense? Like I preferred them with Brian Johnson as the lead singer. I mean, so like the 1970s AC/DC I could do without. I'm not like a big fan of that. But like the Brian Johnson AC/DC, like from Back in Black album, and I like the Back in Black album. I think that's great. I thought that was a really great album. And then I like songs here and there. But I mean, let's just be honest. Like AC/DC made a living out of making the same fucking song 170 times over. I mean, there's really not a lot of variety in AC/DC. Like all the AC/DC stuff sounds the same. Like, and now I'm not trying to say that to knock them, but it is one of the reasons why I wouldn't like call them like an all-time great band. But I mean, because there's a lot of AC/DC music that I do enjoy. I do enjoy most of their songs, but like nobody can with a straight face tell you that every single one of their songs doesn't sound the same. Because they all do. They're all the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But it's catchy, so you know that's why I do like them. I mean, Back in Black's a great song. Money Talks is a great song. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, they have a lot of good songs I like, but I mean, they're not going to be one of my top bands of all time. I do like some of Alice Cooper's stuff. I'm not going to say I'm an Alice Cooper fan, but like I said, Poison's a great song. It's very catchy. 18's a catchy song. I like that one. And I was an Ozzy fan back in the day, and I still like a lot of Ozzy's music. Some of his music does sound a little dated, though, but I do enjoy it. I liked him when his Randy Rhoads era, when he had Randy Rhoads as a guitarist before Randy Rhoads had to go up and die in a fucking bus accident on us.
I'll tell you what.
No, plane crash. How did Randy Rhoads die?
I'm not really familiar, like, with like Alice Cooper, but Randy Rhoads is probably one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Like literally ever.
Yeah, but he only had like two albums.
I don't know how he died. I'm not sure how he died.
I think it was a plane crash. I said bus crash, but that was Cliff Burton. It was. I think it might have been a plane crash. But no, like Randy Rhoads era Ozzy Osbourne was just really good rock music. I really enjoyed that. I mean, Zakk Wylde's obviously pretty good too, but I mean, Randy Rhoads had that signature guitar sound to him that no one had before him and no one had after him. You know?
All right, before we go and call it a night, let's see what's trending on fucking Twitter right now.
Oh, hit me with something.
I'm about to.
Hit me with something that's not the coronavirus, because that's been talked to death. And why do we got race picks scrolling on the bottom?
How about this? Oh, it was from earlier. Hang on.
This isn't a betting show.
Hobby Lobby has been instructing store managers to use the pandemic as a selling technique by focusing on coronavirus-related items and setting up displays to entice bored customers out of social isolation and into the store. Wow. That is a bad look for fucking Hobby Lobby, bro.
Would you mind? Is there more to that headline?
I mean, that's all it says.
Like, what is a coronavirus related item? It's a craft store.
I don't know.
What are you like going to craft Corona voodoo dolls? I mean,
You know what? Let me put up. Can I put up Twitter on the screen without getting a copyright infringement on us?
yeah, I mean, we're probably already copyright infringement for playing clips of those songs because nothing gets you lasted faster than playing a clip of a song. But
Well, let's see what. I mean, you know what?
so this video's
Fuck.
already going to get taken down.
This channel's already our fuck around channel. Let me see what I could see here. All right.
Lay it on me. What do we got? Huh?
Can you?
I
Can
cannot.
I don't know if you could read that. Hold on. Can you read it now?
Hobby Lobby owner David Green is telling store managers to stay open despite the pandemic because his wife had a vision from God. He also warns they'll all have to tighten their belts soon. His net worth is $6.4 billion. Hourly employees don't get paid sick leave.
How about that?
Uh,
See what else is trending right
hold
now
on. Hold on.
Twitter.
Let me read it. I was
Oh,
just about
all
to be
right.
able to read it, but you went back. I don't care about your ads. All right. Enhance. Once you enhance it, I was able to read it a smidge. Is this real? Is this a real letter? To all
Hold
all
on,
the
this is-
wonderful employees of Hobby Lobby and go up.
Here,
I gotta read this shit. To all the wonderful employees of Hobby Lobby and Mardell, this country has experienced several calamities and disruptions over the past century. Oh, okay. From world wars and terrorist attacks to financial crisis and pandemics. While the current COVID-19 virus has been added to that list and is certainly concerning and disruptive, I have every confidence that we, as a country and company, will sustain and thrive again soon. My and Barbara's confidence, Barbara must be his wife, and comfort comes in large part from knowing that you are part of our Hobby Lobby family. In my family, Barbara is the prayer warrior. Today, that title takes on such a different meaning than I ever imagined before because we are at war with this latest virus. To quote the late Dr. Billy Graham, we are to pray in times of adversity, lest we become faithless and unbelieving. We are to pray in times of prosperity, lest we become boastful and proud. We are to pray in times of danger, lest we become fearful and doubting. We
Are you
to
really
pray.
reading? Is this the actual words from the letter?
I ain't making this shit up, motherfucker. Shut up.
Wow.
We are to pray in times of security, lest we become self-sufficient. In our quiet prayer this past week, the Lord put on Barbara's heart 3 profound words to remind us that He's in control: guide, guard, and groom. We serve a God who will guide us through this storm. We will guard as we travel to places never seen before, and who, as a result of this experience, will groom us to be better than we could have ever thought possible before now. God has blessed this company with so much. His blessing and fruits. This guy hasn't gotten to the point yet, so I'll keep going. His blessings and fruits of all our hard work have made it possible for the company to not only operate without significant amounts of debt, but for the past decade to maintain wages and benefits that have far exceeded most retailers, except their health plan does not cover birth control. Many retailers are not as fortunate and are instead saddled with what may be overwhelming debt. Dun, dun, dun. While we do not know for certain what the future holds or how long this disruption will last, we can all rest in knowing that God is in control. This company's leaders are doing all they can to balance the need to keep the company strong and the needs of the employees. To help ensure our company remains strong and prepared to prosper once again when this passes, we may ought to tighten our belts over the near future. We have always been the most successful arts and crafts retailer in the country, and because of you, we will continue to be. Our statement of purpose from the beginning of our company
Can
is
I
as
tap
relevant
out?
today.
Can I
Hold
tap
on,
out right
I'm almost done.
Fucking
This
A.
guy has not gotten to the point. Can you imagine that? Our statement of purpose from the beginning of our company is as relevant today as it was in 1972. We believe that is by God's grace and provision that Jesus Christ, this keeps going. This by God's grace and provision. Blah blah blah.
Can I
He's
tap
faithful.
out?
Hold on. One last sentence, and then it's again. I cannot adequately express how much I appreciate. Blah blah blah. Blessings, David Green. Like, what the fuck was that? It's just a bunch of like, we prayed a lot. Hooray, God. There's like literally no corporate statement there on how they're going to get past this. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, bro.
I
but
hope
let's
that's
see.
fake. If that is a Jay, like, break that down for a second. If that is a legitimate letter, a corporate letter to like all your corporate offices, all like your plan to handle the pandemic, I would hate to be a Hobby Lobby customer or employee. What the fuck was that? It's just a bunch of through prayer and grace bullshit. Like, there's nothing about like how like a business plan or.
Number one hashtag right now. I got hurt during sex because
I answered the phone.
Coronacella. Dark Phoenix is trending right now.
Sonic liked my dramatic reading, Jay. So there you go.
What?
Sonic in the chat appreciated the dramatic reading. Don't watch Dark Phoenix. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, when you see Dark Phoenix is trending because everyone's roasting the hell out of that film. Yeah. What a way to end the Fox X-Men saga, right?
Oh, here you go, Ant. Boom. Tiger King, Netflix. Me trying to decide who the worst person is while watching this shit show. Exactly.
You know, Jay, I mean, I'll put Ozarks on hold. I think we got to both watch this and come back on Monday with a breakdown.
Oh,
what the
no.
fuck?
Ozark on hold. How dare you?
Dude, I mean, because if I could watch all of Tiger King on Netflix in 7 hours and then you finish it up, I mean, it might give us some material.
I got about 4 hours left.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can watch that tonight and tomorrow, and we'll come back Monday night all prepared to talk about the Tiger King.
You know that a show is batshit crazy when drugs being smuggled in snakes is only mentioned in passing.
Wait,
exactly. What? Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. What else we got?
Is that a fucking hold on? Is that a fucking joke?
No, it's not a joke.
Jesus Christ.
Crunchyroll is trending.
Anime protagonist. I liked anime.
What the fuck is a Crunchyroll?
I don't know. For a moment, I thought it was an anime issue, but I don't see any other anime stuff because that one tweet had it about anime. When I saw Crunchyroll trending, I was just about to read that, and you clicked away. Okay, cool.
Sorry, what's happening? Coronavirus. Italy escalates the lockdown as the death toll rises.
Oh, that sounds.
Oh no, Kenny Rogers is dead, man.
You just now know that? Oh, he's been dead for like 24 hours.
Bro, he taught me so much.
About how when to hold him and fold him? I mean,
yeah, bro, he told me that you don't count your money when you're sitting at the table, man. Come on.
Oh, don't you hate it when people fucking do that shit?
Oh, Winston says goodbye. Jameis gone.
They got rid of Jameis Winston for a 1-year rental of a dude who's going to retire.
Wow. Where's he going?
I don't know. Would you take a shot with him? I mean, he throws
Yeah,
a
I
lot
would.
of interceptions, but I mean, he still had the talent. I
I'm
mean,
telling you, he sold me this year. I know Twatty was saying he thinks he's the worst quarterback in the league. I know he threw a shit ton of interceptions, but I'm telling you, with a really good defense, bro, that kid could do some damage, I think, in the playoffs. He just needs a real defense.
and not throw 30 interceptions a season.
But a really good defense he can get away with that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. But the problem is like he got dumped for Tom Brady. Like this is 43-year-old Tom Brady, not 28-year-old Tom Brady.
Matt Miller from Bleacher Report. Jameis to Kansas City as Mahomes' backup confirmed. Wow.
Well, he would be a good backup.
Wow, is that true? Yeah, he would, but I thought that he could definitely start in this league.
Yeah. Oh, he should definitely be a starter. There's lots of terrible quarterbacks in the league that he's better than.
Melvin Gordon, great running back, leaves the Chargers, heading to Denver. Oh wow, Denver has a great running back. I like that kid a lot. Why would they pick him up? I like Philip Lindsay. I think he's really good.
Is that the only thing on your newsfeed is sports stuff when there's no sports on?
I know, right?
It's either sports or coronavirus.
Yeah, country stars perform Kenny Roger classics.
Well, Bayou wins $1 million Louisiana Derby. Oh, without urgent action, coronavirus could overwhelm the United States. Estimates say. That might be true. I mean, we're all probably going to be on our deathbed in like 2 weeks. SVP honors athletes with senior night on SportsCenter. Oh, hold on. Go down. Dr. Anthony Fauci warns against following Trump's advice.
Look at this. You could finally achieve the dream of owning a pool table with some very nifty crafting.
That's not a regulation-sized pool table.
No, it's not, Anthony.
Where was the one with the doctor?
I like the idea, though.
What about where the
I
doctor?
like the idea. Oh, I wanted to play you the video.
Which one? Of all your bets?
No.
This is just your page, dude.
Yeah, the video. There was a video that I wanted to play
How many tweets have you made
from Trump.
Get off the fucking internet, dude. Look at all this tweeting you've done. Which Trump video? There's plenty of Trump videos.
Oh wait, I'm not on my profile. That's fucking.
You skip by all those people that told you to follow. Are you talking about the one where the doctor's like shaking his head at Trump? Because I see.
Yeah, you saw it.
Oh yeah, dude! Like that thing's got retweeted like 5,000 times.
Yeah.
You think that kid's a fuck stick, huh?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Dr. Fresh.
I don't know what that is.
It's on your list of shit. Bon appetit with Jay Chetta.
Cheddar. All right, I guess we'll fucking call it a night.
All righty.
We'll do this again. We'll do this again on Monday night. We'll hang out for a bit. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll be on. We'll be doing that thing over at SBR, betting the horses, and that's it. Watch that. Start that Tiger King and get that going.
I will.
I'm gonna continue to watch that Tiger King right now. So, all right, boys. We'll see you guys on Monday night. I'll see some of you tomorrow afternoon on SBR. And that's it. We're out. Talk to you later.